Gio, it is so nice to be back in Calgary.
It's so nice to have you back in Calgary.
I can't believe your team is letting me ride Quick 6.
Pardon?
Yeah, in the email, I get the full horse experience. Quick 6.
Oh, yeah, it's a full horse. It's Slow Rouge.
What the heck is a Slow Rouge?
Right over here, darling.
Let's go find Enoch and Lapo and get you some carrots. CFL history, it is the Stampede Bowl live from Calgary, and fans couldn't be more excited. Everyone is cowboyed up for this party at McMahon Stadium as the Stampeders welcome the Blue Bombers to town for the inaugural game as we get set to kick things off for week number 5 on TSN.
A bronc buster, a cowboy that can tame wild horses. I come with interesting stats. Brady Oliveira is a bronc buster for the Bombers. The most outstanding player returns to the lineup. Tests this Calgary run defense that gave up 7.7 yards last time they played.
Vernon Adams Jr. will have to live up to his Instagram handle, Big Play VA, tonight. If they want to avoid consecutive losses, he will need to score touchdowns. He hasn't thrown one yet in 2025. Could it be the night tonight for his first one?
Lapo, why you got to do us dirty like that? You make a creative intro, and then we just wrote actual things. A 4-touchdown performance last week. It included just his 3rd rushing TD in the last 10 years. Zach Calaro says he still feels like he's 25. You know what? We should just let Lapo do the introduction each and every time. And Lapo, I know you can introduce this because this is a thing of glory, of course. For the inaugural game, you have to get new hardware, and MST Bronze Limited put together this incredible trophy. The winner of the Stampeder Bowl will go home with it. Well, I'm not sure, actually, if the Calgary Stampeders will let the Winnipeg Blue Bombers go home with it, but it'll be here each and every year. It is absolutely stunning. And you know what? You two look fantastic, Cowboys.
Yahoo! We're here.
But by the way, isn't the villain in every single Western wearing the black hat?
Yes.
Isn't this true?
Yes.
I'm going to have to be a villain today, Kate.
Definitely, definitely.
All right.
Even we had to wear ties on air. We got bolo ties.
The bolo ties look fantastic. And you know my favorite part of this game, other than the fact that the fans are so into it already, the teams are ready to go, is that the entire team gets to dress up, and not just you two. Also, Glenn Suter's wearing quite the outfit tonight, but so is Chantel Shund. And Chantel, I mean, I just saw Enoch right now in the black hat, and I'm really sorry because I said he was the villain. You are certainly not the villain in this one today.
That's okay. I like being a part of the Outlaws, you know what I mean? So suits, myself, I think we'll be okay with that. I like the black hat, but it's just a great atmosphere here tonight in Calgary, obviously Stampede Week, and everyone's come out. You've seen the fans right now in their cowboy hats, their cowboy boots, and even the players are really getting into it. I had a chance to speak with Nick Dembski earlier, and he was talking about how he was bringing his cowboy hat as well. But there are some injury updates to let you guys know about. And obviously, Brady Oliveira, as was mentioned earlier, he will be suiting up today, missed week 3 and 4, but did practice throughout the week. As for Adam Bighill, who recently signed with Calgary, he will not be playing today. Coach Dave Dickinson said he's not fully 100%. We might see him next week. And also another injury update for Calgary, as Fraser Mason, the punt returner, he will not be in for this game. He's dealing with the leg injury, so they've got Mark Bassett in for him.
Well, the big news, obviously, the return of Brady Oliveira in this game, and look, you can't look past him. He's the reigning MOP, he's the reigning top Canadian, and when he went down in that week 1 game, everyone just sighed, whether you're a fan of the Bombers or a fan of the CFL in general, but now he is back, and watching him warm up right now, Enoch, he looks more than ready to go, and this is going to be a huge test for the Calgary Stampeders.
He's ready to go, and he is focused, Kate. Everyone held their breath in Winnipeg when he went down in first week, but the Winnipeg Blue Bombers did a great job. But I'll tell you what, Kate, Kate. This man right here, he is the focal point for this offense. Yes, we talk about Zach Collaros and how well he does and how much of a leadership he takes as far as this team is concerned. But make no mistake, this offense goes through this man right here. I remember last year when this team was going through some struggles. He put this whole team on his back, and he asked for the ball. He put the pressure on himself. And guess what happened, Coach? When he started touching the ball more, they started winning. So he is the guy for this team, and I'm excited to see him tonight.
I'm excited about this Bomber defense, you know, the best in the Canadian Football League at keeping people out of the end zone. I think important for them tonight is Vernon Adams. He's got the ability to use his legs. So, like, I think we were right. For Zach Collaros and this offense, they need to stay on the field so the Calgary Stampeders offense doesn't go on the field. But Vernon Adams is going to be kind of sneaky because when this pass rush tries to get home, you know, if they can't, they're going to give a lot of opportunities for Vernon Adams to look downfield. He can use his legs to throw that deep ball. Last week, they faced Trey Ford, who's going to throw the football. He's going to try to throw the football. He's going to run for big yardage. Vernon Adams is going to stay in the pocket and find the deep shots downfield. He's going to task his defense in a different way. Enoch, I'm looking forward to it. And the other thing you can't, Calgary Stampeders' offensive run game, you know, they're really good. They're going to try to control the line of scrimmage and keep the Bombers' defensive unit, all their substitutions, on the sideline and run the football. That's what you're going to probably see from Calgary tonight.
You know what? It almost seems unfair, too, for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Zach comes back in week number 2, and, you know, he came out with such a vengeance. Like, you knew he was just completely dialed in at this point. So you get Zach playing the way he is. It seems like he has so many incredible receivers around him. I mean, Carrick Weekball has been fantastic as well, and now you get Brady back, too. It's just such a potent offense, and they just keep getting better and better.
Don't forget about Dalton Schoen.
Of course.
And you always have to remember about Nick Dembski. He's always the forgotten guy that plays a huge role for this team. I mean, he had 97 yards last week and leads the league with 4 touchdowns. This guy is always a game breaker whenever he touches the ball. And again, we forget about him, but he makes plays for this offense.
Yeah, and Zach Collaros is playing so fast. He's processing information as a quarterback so well. You can see him getting to his 4th check down instantaneously, and that's so hard for a defense to handle. And if you try to blitz him, he's seen every blitz in the book. You saw him hit that big deep shot to Nick Dembski last week. So it'll be interesting how Calgary tries to slow this guy down. He leads the CFL in completion percentage. He's playing awesome football right now.
We even saw him running the football last week.
Absolutely, running for a touchdown. Hey, the only thing that can slow him down is maybe giving it to Brady Oliveira, right? So you got to be careful how many of those you do.
By the way, I don't know if anyone's looking behind us right now, but a quick 6 is literally taunting me. It is just walking around in circles, thinking, I'll take on you in Slow Rouge any day.
You might be Quick Six's biggest fan, Kate.
I am.
Hey, Quick 6.
What a way to start week 4 in the Canadian Football League. Touchdown, Nick Dembski! The Bombers bounce back. We fall to the end zone. Touchdown, Winnipeg! How did he do that? Oh, Dembski's ridiculous.
I was expecting it. Are you kidding me? Come on, Dusty.
Corners to the end zone. He's done it. How about that from Zach? Does it himself.
How did it feel to use your legs to get into the end zone tonight?
I still feel 25.
All right, I don't know if you have heard, but it will be the race of the century tonight as well. It
Hence
is
the black hat, Kate. Hence the black hat.
the world's fastest cow at the Stampede Bowl. So let's take a look at this. Outright winner. See, I told you, they said that they were even. Look at them. Everyone is completely favoring the cow right now. Minus 100 for the outright winner.
I don't blame him, Kate.
I mean, 12 and a half seconds. I don't know about that. Margin of victory, 0.2 seconds. I mean,
chin to pocket, good
those
arm
are
action.
fantastic odds. And just really quickly, you can't bet on that. We just made this all up. Please don't go to FanDuel right now. Is that him? No way, that is not him.
That is not the horse.
There's no way you're racing that.
I could take that
First
guy.
of all, that's a horse, guys.
I could take that
Guys,
guy.
that's a horse. That's not even a cow.
Oh, you're right.
But in all honesty, Enoch, I think you have a lot of confidence going into this right now. And I've seen that cow race, and he's quick.
I've watched film, Kate. I've seen him race, too. I've seen him. But, hey, look, I'm going to do what I can, all right?
I heard it might be a new cow
represent you
tonight.
guys. I'll represent you guys.
You will until you pull a handy. All right, let's go to the same game parlay now. Enoch, who do you got tonight?
I'm going to go with Dominic Rhymes. This week, this offense has got to get started. Dominic Rhymes over over 49.5 yards, Coach. Vernon Adams Jr. needs to get things started, and it'll be a good idea to start with Dom Ryans.
I'm going with Zach Collaros, under 275 yards passing. Couple reasons. Stampeders are really good at eliminating big play passes. They keep teams to only 62% completion. And probably the biggest reason, Brady Oliveira is going to get a lot of touches today. So I think Zach's maybe not going to get as many throws downfield.
And you know what? I fully respect the Winnipeg Blue Bombers defense, but I just think tonight's the night for Vernon Adams Jr. This is perfect weather in Calgary. The rain, the wind, it's all gone. So I like him 300-plus passing yards. If all three hit, it's going to be plus 318 for your winning ticket. All right, we always chat about the consistency of the Blue Bombers. It certainly starts with guys like this. Stanley Bryant, who is the oldest non-kicker in the league, by the way. Recently, I had a chance to sit down with the CFL veteran who has no plans of slowing down. You're 39.
No.
Turning 39.
Maybe.
You're turning 39 this year.
Yeah.
Left tackle Stanley Bryant.
The best offensive lineman I've ever worked with.
So you started in 2010.
2010, yeah.
2010.
Long time ago.
Long time ago. I started at TSN in 2009, reading your highlights in 2010. Now joined by CFL insider Dave Naylor. Risky business with Chris Schultz, Monday morning quarterback Jesse Palmer. If you missed it, don't worry. We have you covered. I'm exhausted. I'm just kidding. We don't read offensive lineman highlights. In all seriousness, though, that is really impressive.
Yeah.
It is incredibly impressive, the job that you have to do on that line, the blocking consistently. Do you still feel good?
Yeah, of course. Only on game day.
Other than that, it hurts all the time?
No, it doesn't hurt, no. My body's fine. My mind is fine. My mental is good. Still enjoy the game. Still love the camaraderie.
I want to go back to your age for a moment. What are the biggest changes that you have seen since you've been in the league in 2010?
Just feel like more fans are more tuned in with the CFL, know a lot more about the CFL. Overall, the brand is just better now. Me coming up, I didn't know anything about the CFL. My agent at the time had Dan Goodspeed up here, and he brought up the CFL, so I decided to come up here. But growing up, I didn't hear anything about the CFL. But nowadays, I think a lot of people know about the CFL, and the players that come up here have a great season or even a great tenure up here, 5-10 years, and able to grow and do great things outside of that.
Are you ready for some rapid fire?
Let's go. Let's do it.
Because you've been in the league for quite a while.
Yeah.
Your favorite QB to block for?
Oh, my goodness. Why do we always ask this question?
Because we have to. And you can only pick one.
I mean, I can say Zach. Obviously, Zach. But
You have to. He's your current quarterback.
some good ones out there. Like Drew Tate was cool. I love Drew Tate.
I love Drew Tate. I love it.
And Tate, quarterback draw, it opens up. And down inside the 5, touchdown. Drew Tate.
Favorite opposing quarterback?
Right now, just all time.
Let's start with right now.
Drew Brown.
Oh,
I'll go with
that's
Drew Brown.
new.
Drew Brown.
All time.
All time. Probably Calvillo.
Anthony Calvillo is the all-time Canadian Football League and Pro Football passing leader.
Yeah. That's when I first got in the league, so I didn't know much, but just seeing him play was nice. Darren Durant as well, too.
Okay, now you're just naming every quarterback that you've ever played against. We don't have time for this. Favorite teammate?
Right now, all time.
Right now.
Let's go Patty Newfield.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Let's do it.
All time?
I didn't think you to go back to that.
No, we have to.
Because I got a lot of all-time.
You're right. We don't have time for that. Let's move on. Favorite coach?
I go Osh.
Again, you have to say that.
Yeah.
Favorite broadcaster?
I don't know. So many.
I'm right here.
I forget her name.
Remember we came in the same year?
What's her name? You.
Skate.
Yeah.
Willie doesn't even know my name. It's fine. Favorite memory throughout your CFL career?
Just coming in, not knowing nothing about the CFL and getting a chance to play. When I first got up here, I think I did like a week of camp and was thrown into a preseason game. So I think that was a great experience and just been overall one of the best things that ever happened.
You are the most decorated offensive lineman in CFL history.
I don't know, what does that mean?
Well, it means just accolades,
well, you don't have to
awards.
elaborate. I was just joking about that.
Oh, okay. I would have gone through what you've won, but I feel like I presented you the award 90 times at the CFL Awards at this point.
Yeah.
But at the end of this season, if you do end up with that Grey Cup in Winnipeg, you know, besides all those personal accolades, I mean, what would that mean?
It'd be good for my son to finally see the graffiti coming down. He hasn't got that chance to to experience that of us winning the Grey Cup. So it would be great for him to look up and see the blue and gold graffiti come down and him touching the Grey Cup and knowing that his dad won a Grey Cup.
How old is he?
6. Yeah.
Be amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I can't say I'm going to root for you because it's against my contract.
I know you will. I know you will.
Good luck, Stan.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I thought we done a soft one.
Sorry. No, do it again.
No, it's just there you go.
But I told you, I work in football. I got to be.
No, you don't.
That's nice.
There you go.
That's nice. What a perfect way to kick off the Calgary Stampede. These fans already in full party mode, by the way. It's the first time the Stamps and the greatest outdoor show on earth have joined forces. I know we still have a game, but it feels like this is already a huge success. There's Quick Six just taunting me the entire time. Let's get you back to Chantel Shand, who's standing by with Flo Aramalati.
So obviously Winnipeg has a high-powered offense. Brady Oliveira back as well. What do you guys need to do as a defense to slow them down tonight?
Stop the run, stop the deep shot. Make them a one-dimensional team by throwing the ball and drop back pass. That's what we have to do.
This is also the first ever Stampede Bowl. It's here in Calgary. It's Stampede Week. How important is it to get that trophy tonight?
I mean, anytime there's a trophy on the line, you wanna win. Anytime there's a game on the line, you wanna win. But we're gonna have so many fans, so many people excited. We're excited too. So we're doing what we need to do to win the game.
Good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So if you've watched our shows at all the stadiums, we have been trying the food from all the stadiums. But just wait a minute. We asked for a Huff Burger specifically, and I was told the cow delivered all this food because he was
They're trying to fatten me, Kate. They're trying to fatten me.
But honestly, I've heard about this too. This is a taco in a bag.
Taco in a bag.
Enoch, I believe that's alcoholic.
Right.
You can't say that on
Yes,
live
I
TV.
can. I just did.
Cheers.
I'm just kidding. It's not.
Brisket parfait.
It's very PG.
Yes.
By the way, the food here is just so absolutely incredible. You know what? All these, the tailgate. Have you guys been down to the tailgate?
Oh, yeah, I saw it.
Oh, my
People
goodness. They
everywhere
got
celebrating
brisket,
and
they got ribs, they got Alberta steaks. I mean, there's Huff's Burgers, but no one brought us a Huff Burger up here. We literally.
We got to get someone to bring some Huff Burgers. Come on.
Enoch, are you downing the creamery?
We need Huff to bring us some Huff Burgers.
The Foothills Creamery ice cream? Sir, you have a race to run.
I know, but that's
Maybe
later.
you should calm down.
I got time,
right?
Kate. I got time.
I will say this, though, and to every team that's currently watching right now, look at this spread. Look at what they're
You
giving
got
us.
pressure. You got pressure.
Taco in a bag. Let's go.
That's mango. It's absolutely delicious. Okay, you know what? As we said, this is a Stampede party. The Stampede opens up on Friday here in Calgary. One of the things I really want to do, though, I want to go a little behind the scenes. You were supposed to join me on this one, Lapo. I don't know what happened here, but I got to meet all these absolutely stunning creatures and these horses. These chuck wagons are no joke. We went so fast around the track, I actually lost my hat at one point. And
Gotta hang on to it, Kate.
just wait, are you ready for this? I was able to get up on Steve. I didn't even use a saddle. That's called bareback, by the way. Look at that. Look at that.
Awesome. Good job.
Better than me, Kate. Better than me.
And then I said, he was going so fast right there that I said, if I walked into McMahon and Jay McNeil said I could, then I would actually beat Quick Six. And Quick Six has been taunting me the entire time behind me. There she is. I see you, Chelsea. I see you, Quick Six, you majestic creature.
Yeah, and it's so cool to see how many people. I met people from Texas today, from Great Britain today, that are all here for the Stampede. So pretty cool environment for everybody to come together and celebrate this pretty cool week.
I won't lie to you guys. I may or may not stay in Calgary after this game and
You
enjoy
like the
my
outfit
time.
so much.
I love it.
Well, we'll see.
We got to work tomorrow. Come on.
We have to work tomorrow, and you still have to race a cow. We have more coming up right after this. All eyes were on Vernon Adams Jr., and I think Dave Dickinson has found his guy.
It's completed. Clark Barnes running away from Jamal Peters.
He showed up and did everything that you thought he would be able to do.
He was going to go for a run. Vernon Adams Jr. to the end zone. Touchdown, Calgary.
Vernon Adams' impact on the Calgary Stampeders can't be measured. His short time here, I think, has been significant.
God bless. Go Stamps.
Are so into this tonight, and so are the team presidents, by the way. Jay McNeil and Wade Miller have $25,000 on the line tonight, which will be donated to Pure Later Tackle Hunger. Isn't that an unbelievable initiative? And of course, these fans. I love that everyone has the same hats too. We all have the actual Stampedes hats. And thank you to the Calgary Stampeders. They brought us these hats before. And so many. Are you still eating the taco in a bag?
Why not?
We were supposed to get rid of it.
I thought they took all the food
We were
away.
literally supposed to get the food off the set. And why are you still
They saw
having
me eating
Doritos?
like, leave Lapo alone.
Lapo, you have a fork in your hand.
And holding the mic.
All you can do.
This is the most
I can multitask.
unprofessional thing I have ever currently worked on. Can we talk about football again?
Sure.
Okay, let's talk about the Calgary Stampeders. And look, I don't think anyone can really judge the last home game that they had here against the Ottawa Red Blacks. You had 55-kilometer-an-hour winds. The rain was literally going sideways. It was torrential. And that's when Calgary picked up their first loss of the season. But overall, we know that VA would love to get his first passing touchdown. Something surprisingly he hasn't done so far. I also look at the run game, too. Someone like Diedrich Mills, and obviously the great game he had to start the season. And, you know, you just expect that level at some point again, too.
They want to find a way to make Diedrich Mills almost like Brady Oliveira over there. They want to highlight him early and often. Vernon Adams Jr., Kate, if we end this game and we say that Vernon Adams Jr. has not thrown another touchdown, I doubt that we will also say that the Calgary Stampeders won the game. And so they will need to start things off, obviously on the ground, but I'm looking to Dominic Rhymes to start things off. I'm looking at Clark Barnes as well. They need to get involved in the offense right now if they want to find a way to win this game tonight. Here's the other thing. When you're playing the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, you do not want to fall behind. This team, they're closers. They're a bunch of vets. They have great culture. We talk about it year in and year out, but they are closers. In the fourth quarter, when they have wins, Coach, they only allow 8 points this season. And so you don't want to go into the game and fall behind or too far behind with these guys. You have to put points on the board.
Yeah, and I think the most important thing for Calgary, if you look at the game last week, you know, they had 5 turnovers, and you're never going to win the football. They had a couple of turnovers in, like, 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line. They couldn't get in, so they cannot turn the ball over. The Bombers got the fewest takeaways in the Canadian Football League as an offense, so they've got to make sure they protect the ball, and if they do that, they're going to be able to move the ball and put themselves in position, but you just cannot overcome turnovers like that. And the next thing, I like what this defense has done. You heard Flo talk about what they want to do.
Yep.
We want to eliminate the big play because Zach's going to take shots when they show up, so expect a lot of zone, and we got to stop the run. So they're going to do their best to try to make Brady, eliminate Brady and force them to pass the ball in long yardage situation. But I think the hardest part is the D-line of the Calgary Stampeders.
Yes.
Like, how are they going to slow down Zach? How do you slow down Zach's ability and show him something different? Because he's seen everything in the world of coverages. I'd like to see how they slow down his efficiency.
The Winnipeg Blue Bombers offensive line is going to focus on Falano Milade. We know that.
Yep.
Everybody knows how dangerous he is. And so they are going to, again, goes back to the same point. They cannot fall behind too much because if they do, guess what they're going to see all day? Zach turning around and handing the ball off to Brady. And Falano Milade will not be impactful or effective in this game at all.
And Enoch, here's another. Vaughters has done a very good job coming over from Calgary to Winnipeg as a defensive lineman. He's done a really good job fitting into this, helping Willie Jefferson on one side, being that other defensive end as a veteran presence. So it'll be interesting to see how they, Vernon is really good when he has time in the pocket. So, they've got to find ways to slow him down. And I think Vaughters will be a big part of that. His first game back in Calgary.
Yep.
I'll tell you this, too. I mean, there's something about this atmosphere right now, too. And, as I said, good on the Calgary Stampeders. They've always gone away when it comes to the Calgary Stampede. And for these two organizations to get together and say, you know what, this could be something incredibly special, you can feel it. You can absolutely feel it in the stands right now. I mean, everyone's dressed up. I mean, I walked in like this thinking I was going to be the only one, and we look amazing, and so does everyone.
Here's the bonus, Kate. You're actually playing for something. The season just started and you got a trophy.
And you get tacos in a bag. Are you kidding me?
No more tacos in a bag. No more. It's just for the fans now. We got kickoff from McMahon coming up next.
Where are the tacos, though?
Yo, I just tilt my hat, keeping my brim low. Then I just do my dance, I get it up and go. I know you seen Cowboys, nothing like this before. I'm an original, smooth individual, ayy. And can't nobody else do it like this. Boots on like I'm in the Wild Wild West. And can't nobody else do it like this. Way too fresh.
Calgary. Stampeder fans hoping they see lots of this tonight. Quick six running the field. Chelsea Drake leading the way. It's the eve of the greatest outdoor show on earth. And what better way to get the party started than with a Western showdown in the CFL as the Stampeders welcome the Blue Bombers to town. We know these Blue Bomber fans travel oh so well. Enoch, let's go through some key matchups for you tonight between the Bombers and the Calgary Stampeders.
Okay. The main thing for the offense in the Calgary Stampeders is they have to put points on the board. And I'm looking at the receivers. Dominic Rhymes, he's a guy that's been a big star on different teams this year in the CFL. He's got to make it happen for this team. Dom Rhymes, Clark Barnes, they need to step up and show some love for their quarterback, Vernon Adams Jr.
Flo Orimolade in this defensive line. Clarence Hicks, they got to do something to slow down Zach Collaros. 74% completion, the best in the Canadian Football League. And I don't think you can do it by blitzing. So how do they, with 4 or 5 guys, get pressure on Zach to disrupt Zach Collaros, or else it's going to be a long night. They're going to have to face the run, Brady, and Zach in some of that play action. They got to find a way to slow down this Bomber offense.
How good was Zach Collaros in that last game? I mean, the 4 touchdowns, he rushed in that 1 touchdown, just his 3rd rushing touchdown in the last 10 years. He said after the game, I feel like I'm 25 years. I feel like I'm 25 years old, and my goodness, is he looking forward. He has been on fire since returning in week number 2. As we get set for the Stampeder Bowl here, and my goodness, it is honestly filled up to the nines. Everyone is in full cowboy attire. The energy is palpable, and you should see the trophy at the end of the night that they are currently waiting to hand out, and the MVP getting a belt buckle as well. So we get you set. Let's send it down to the field for the pregame ceremony.
Yahoo!
Yahoo!
One more time, make some noise for your 2025 Calgary Stampeders.
In the spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge today's game will take place on the original territories of the peoples of the Treaty 7 region in southern Alberta, which includes the Blackfoot First Nation tribes of Siksika, the Piikani, the Gena, the Stoney Nakoda First Nation tribes of Chiniki, Bears Paw, and Good Stony, and the Tsuut'ina First Nation. This territory is also home to the Otipemisiwak Métis government, Districts 5 and 6. As an organization, Calgary Sports and Entertainment is proud to continue our commitment to learn from and partner with our Indigenous communities.
Fans, we now ask you please rise if you're able. Remove your hats and join the singing voice of our Calgary Stampeders, Justine Tyrell, in the performance of our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Calgary is ready. We are ready. The inaugural Stampede Bowl is ready to kick off next from McMahon.
Well, it may be cliche, but I'm going to say it anyway. Howdy, partners, and welcome to the first ever Stampede Bowl in Calgary. Week 5 kicks off with the Stampeders coming in off a bye, 2-1 to start this season. Winnipeg, a perfect 3-0, and the stage is set
for a great battle of veteran quarterbacks.
Howdy, partner.
Howdy, partner.
Yeah. Yeah, veteran quarterbacks. It looked like last week Zach Collaros was really just showing off. He completed 83% of his passes, threw for 334 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Zach Collaros also gets Brady Oliveira back in the backfield. Vernon Adams, big play VA, still hasn't thrown a touchdown pass as a Stampeder, but he's led the offense to 6 touchdown drives, and he has a rushing major as well.
Third home game of the season already for Dave Dickinson and his Calgary Stampeders. They are 1-1 thus far, and Mike O'Shea 13-10 all-time versus Calgary. They have won 8 of the last 10 in this head-to-head series. Calgary won the toss. They want the ball here at home. Last year, these two clubs split the season series. All right, here we go. Giddy up. Stampede Bowl is underway. It'll be Castillo getting us started in Calgary. That kick into the wind that we do have here. It's going to be taken at the 20 and brought back up on the far side. Eventually returned just shy of the 40 by Benjamin.
Well, you can take last week's game for Vernon Adams sort of out of the mix. The rain was just coming down bad. It was more of a running game than anything. So in a couple of games, Vernon Adams has thrown for 803 yards, looking for that first touchdown throw. But that's an average of 268 yards per game. Again, really tough conditions last week.
First time in his career that he's gone 3 games without a passing touchdown. I went back through all of the game logs, and games that he has started, he has not had this 3-game stretch. A little bit of a slip on the first touch of the game into the hands of Dedrick Mills. Let's take a look at this Calgary offense.
Chris Fortin will play in the middle for Bryce Bell at center. Take a look in the backfield. A lot of weapons in that backfield for Vernon Adams to choose from, including Jalen Philpott. And with the lost injury of Reggie Begelton, for Jalen Philpott in a more prime position in that offense, see a lot more targets.
No gain on that first down slip from Mills, so 2nd and 10 for VA from the pocket down the field, and that is complete, close to a first down to Eric Brooks.
Did have a downpour about an hour ago here in Calgary, but that has cleared through. Conditions good. A little bit breezy down in the field, but no problem for Vernon Adams. He knifes that right in there. Get things started offensively.
Brooks with the catch, just 5'7", proving it's all right to be little bitty. I got a few of those up the sleeve
I got
tonight.
a couple too.
Yeah, we'll see how she goes. People will love it, I'm sure. 3rd and inches, pushing ahead. This is tight. I think there was enough forward progress to pick up the first down, and yes, it will be ruled a first down. Here's the Winnipeg defense.
Well, one guy that was going to be fired up for this one is James Vaughters, former Calgary Stampeder, on that defensive line for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and doing a nice job on the opposite side of Willie Jefferson. In the middle, Tony Jones has done well in his first 3 starts as that leader in the defense, leads the team in tackles. I thought Terrell Bonds had a great game in the secondary last week, had an interception taken off the board in review, but played well.
Fresh set at the Calgary 49, high snap. VA gets it, hands it off, and they'll push it ahead. Close to half of what they needed. Back on the ground to Dedrick Mills, who's had a great start to the season, over 200 yards rushing already.
Yeah, one of the keys to beating a very good Winnipeg team, no matter who you are, is time of possession. Time of possession is tied directly with the balance in the offense. So that's where Dedrick Mills comes in. If you want to beat the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, you got to keep your offense on the field, keep Zach Collaros off it.
Calgary's offense averaging about 135 yards per game on the ground. They're throwing here, though. Adams, far side to the 45, and that's hauled in. It's Rhymes with his first of the day.
Such a smooth route runner. Dominic Rhymes just comes out of his break. And that short side of the field, number 2 receiver. Look how smooth he is coming out of the break. Really just a speed cut to the sideline, and nice 13-yard gain for Dominic Rhymes. 3 times over 1,000 yards in his career.
171 yards on the season prior to that catch for Rhymes. Fresh set of downs for VA again. Look at all the time in the pocket. Down the field, drops it into the 5. End zone, touchdown, Clark Barnes. There's a flag back at the 50. We'll monitor that. VA slow to get up. Barnes gets the stamps on the board in the Stampeder Bowl.
Good news for Calgary and their fans was the throw and catch. And Clark Barnes' average this year on 6 catches is through the roof at almost 30 yards a catch. So Vernon Adams has been finding him deep. The bad news is Vernon Adams got hit on that. That's what the flag is. It's a late hit on the quarterback.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown. But we do have, roughing the passer, Winnipeg number 95. The 15-yard penalty will be applied on the ensuing kickoff.
It's Jake Thomas, the guilty party.
And VA got up limping.
Calgary has not been shy to throw the deep ball yet this year. That is their 8th completion of 30 or more. Paredes out, and he smooths one through, and a great start for the Stampeders at home against the Bombers. They lead 7-0. We'll monitor VA's situation, but Barnes with the major.
Clark Barnes with a nice route here. He's going to go with a bit of a stop and go route on Marquise Bridges down at the bottom of your screen. There he is right there. There's the go route right along the numbers, and then wins the jump ball as it arrives at the other end. Vernon Adams gets rolled on from behind. Didn't look like Jake Thomas meant to do it. He kind of got thrown into the quarterback's legs.
First touchdown of the year for Barnes. Finishes off a 6-play, 72-yard drive that took about 3.5 minutes. Vernon Adams Jr. does appear to be okay, but let's get another look at this.
Well, he got off limping, and by the end of that, the extra point, it looked like he had shaken that off. But this is the Jake Thomas kind of rolls into him from behind. Now, he stopped his roll. It wasn't like he kept going knowing that Vernon Adams was there. So I don't think there was any malicious intent. In fact, he went over and just said, hey, that happens. But looks like he'll be okay.
The tent is up on Calgary sideline, but apparently it's for Clark Barnes, who caught the touchdown. He's getting looked at right now. We'll keep tabs on that. Collaros gets the ball on his own 40, trailing 8-0. Quickly, far side of the field, up to the 45. Gets it into hands of Clercius.
Well, that's what I meant about last week. I mean, Zach Collaros last week looked like he was showing off. Like he's just, 334 yards, 83% was his completion percentage. He missed 5 throws in an entire game.
78% on the year.
You could play against air and miss more than 5 throws.
So you're saying Edmonton needed to play better last week. Here's Collaros, a little bit of a draw. Look who it is, straight up the middle, pushes it up almost to midfield. But the Winnipeg Blue Bombers have their main weapon back. Brady Oliveira gets 8 yards on his first touch.
Yeah, and I agree with the panel guys in the pregame show talking about how this offense goes through number 20. And he's back in the lineup. Just 2 carries in that first game, which was week 2 of the season for Winnipeg. They had the bye in week 1. But in that second carry, he hurt his shoulder.
3 options out to the left. Calgary's going to bring some heat. They'll give it to Brady, pushing it ahead, and he's got 5 more.
Micah Vanderpool is back in the O-line at left guard. Gabe Wallace had played the last 2 games there, did a nice job, but Vanderpool gets his job back now that he's healthy. And yeah, Brady Oliveira back in the lineup. Huge for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, even though they are 3-0 to start the season. They get that leading running back, leading in the CFL last couple of years. Last year's MOP and outstanding Canadian is back in the lineup.
2nd and 4 from the Stampeder 50. Stamps brings some pressure again. Collaros gets it away, and that'll be a first down on the far side of the field as he goes back to Clercius for the 2nd time on this drive.
Bomber receivers, whether it's a younger player in Clercius out there with just a little stop route in front of the zone defense, or a veteran like Dalton Schoen or Nick Dembski, they know if they run the right routes crisp, get to the spots they need to get to, if they're the open man in the zone, there's always one guy open to break down the zone. Zach will find him.
Another 7 yards for Clercius, has them up to the Calgary 43. Handing it off again, Oliveira puts it back and gets a nice chunk on first down against this Calgary defense.
Getting fired up early in this.
He's
one.
not hitting the helmet.
He's not slapping him yet. But the job of these guys right here is to try and slow that guy down in Brady Oliveira. And Flo Arimolade will be the leader in that regard. He's got a quarterback sack on the season. Kyle Wilson, former Hamilton Tiger Cat, will start in the middle. He's just signed with Calgary. And the former BC Lion, Adrian Green, has 2 interceptions on the season already.
Calgary has just 3 sacks, but they have 3 of the top 10 defensive linemen in quarterback pressures so far this year. It's Oliveira again, and he's got a first down as the Bombers go creeping down the field here.
Well, this is the Brady Oliveira is back in the lineup. 26 yards already rushing the football in this first drive. Here's the injury against the BC Lions. It was the second run of the game for him. Now he had, what do you have, over 40, almost 50 yards in 2 runs. But that one, the shoulder just wasn't quite right. Went back to the huddle, was in there for the rest of that drive, which was a touchdown drive. And then that was it.
Jareth Stearns takes it down, spins off of the first tackle, and he's inside the 25 as Winnipeg on the verge of the red zone, a place where they've been pretty good so far this year at 86%. In fact, with Zach at quarterback, they're 4 for 4 on touchdowns once they get inside the 20.
So what does the Calgary defense have to do to try and slow Brady Oliveira? Be responsible in their gaps. So that gap between the center and guard on both sides, between the guard and tackle on both sides. Be gap responsible.
Oliveira up the middle, first down for Winnipeg. As what a response here after giving up that early touchdown. They're looking for one of their own.
Okay, so here's what I'm talking about. These are the 2 A gaps. There's strong A, they go to B here. So there's A gap there, B gap here, and C gap on the outside. Those are the gaps going both ways. Strong A, strong B, strong C, weak A, weak B, weak C going backwards. So got to be sound in those gaps. So if you're Miles Brown or Rimolade and you got the B gap, boy, you better be in it, or Brady Oliveira is going to make you pay.
They'll operate from the Calgary 16. Oliveira again. And he takes it down inside the 15, close to the 10. And that's his 6th carry of this opening drive.
Now, the other way you add to that is you add in linebackers. Coach down in the panel is getting all excited right now. I bet you he's got those tacos and he's setting up right now. He's setting up a line, offensive, defensive line. But you bring in some linebackers to help in some of those gaps because there's only 4 guys and there's 6 gaps.
Colares gets a look at things. 2nd and 6 from the Calgary 12. Looks to his right, in trouble, gets it away. There's a flag. It's caught. It would be a first down. And we'll see what the call is here.
Looks like we're going back. Holding call up front.
Holding. Winnipeg 69. It's a 10-yard penalty. We'll replay 2nd down.
Kendall Randolph.
Kendall Randolph is facing an inside move. And he grabs on.
Backs the Bombers up. 2nd and 16. 11th play of the drive from the Calgary 22. Oliveira out in the slot to the right of Colares. They dump it off to Dembski. Turns, looking for some blockers. Got a couple, still pushing. And he'll be stopped short. Just shy of the 10, and that'll bring up a 3rd down for the visitors.
Just extra effort from number 10, and what a start to the season for Nick Dembski. 4 touchdowns on the season. Big game last week, and look at the second effort. First, second, and third guy didn't beat him.
75th game in a row with a catch for Dembski as the streak remains alive. So 3rd and 4, it'll be a Castillo field goal attempt from just inside 19. From just inside the left hash as well. Castillo puts it up and through. Winnipeg has to settle for the field goal. That don't impress me much here at the Stampede Bowl. Welcome back to Calgary. And Suits, you were talking about it earlier. You know, if you're going to have success against Winnipeg, control the ball. And I think Mills and Calgary are one of the teams in the league that are capable of doing that.
Yeah, no question. I mean, when you look at Dedrick Mills' numbers, the average is kind of off. It's 4.8, which is not normal for his numbers, but it was a good game for Toronto's defense.
VA throwing here, that's incomplete. Mills does lead the league in rushing touchdowns with 4.
Exactly. And, you know, when you look at his couple of games, over 218 yards, really in 2 games, because the Toronto game he had 13 carries, but he only had 27 yards or some 23 yards, something like that. So it really affected his average. But yeah, he's totally capable of getting manageable situations for Vernon Adams on second down.
96 yards last time out, week 3. Weather conditions not ideal in that game. It was here in Calgary. Now he'll slide out in the slot. Empty backfield, VA. Backside spin, and now he's going to take off. Pushes it ahead. Will be stopped short of the first down. Looks okay, though.
Yeah, looked good on the run. That's what I was going to start with. After getting rolled on by Jake Thomas in the first series of this game, back out and to do this blind turn, get out of there and run the way he did, looks like the knee is fine. So that's the good news. I think Dave Dickinson would rather see him step out of bounds there rather than take that hit, being 2 yards short anyway.
First look at Mark Vassett, 28-year-old from Australia out of Colorado, into the game. Big leg. And Valvo will bring it out. In trouble, trying to escape, will not. Taken down at the 6. When we return, Chantel will have more on Zach Collaros and playing in the Stampede Bowl. Well, there it is, the Stampede Bowl. For more on the hype from the players for this game, let's send it down to Chantel Chan.
Yeah, I had a chance to speak with Zach Collaros, and he said that he thinks it's really cool that the league is having a game like this, also because it's starting a new tradition in the league and that they're going to continue to play with it. He also told me that it's great that they're playing in Alberta because he loves the crowds here, and that it also brings awareness to the city, and that he likes it. Likes the fact that it's during Stampede Week and loves the theme. And of course, there's a nice trophy involved, he said, guys.
Yeah, it's a great trophy. Yeah, we were talking about up in the booth before the game. If Winnipeg wins it, do they have to play in this game next year to defend it? If Calgary wins it, somebody else could come in and try to get it.
I think these two opponents might be that's part of the scheduling now.
That's just how it works.
That's just how it's going to work.
Collaros, far side, finds Schoen for the first time.
And here's the other thing, that at the end of that game last week, when Zach was interviewed by Brett Dort down on the sideline in Winnipeg, one of his quotes was, "I still feel 25 most of the time." That is from Troubadour, sung by George Strait, the king of country music. And I'm wondering if he was already in his mind in Calgary as soon as that Edmonton game was over.
Just a little tease. Just a little tease.
A little tease. I still feel 25 most of the time.
Looked like it last week. Flags before the snap here. Collaros' career high, if you go back to 2016, it was actually
Offside.
against the Calgary
Calgary, number
Stampeders.
6. It's a 5-yard penalty. Makes it a first down for Winnipeg.
Well, last week, Zach Collaros completed his first 14 throws in a row.
That's the best stretch of his career, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. He playing the top of his game, and our coach down in the panel, Paul Lapalisse, said before the game that his recognition has been outstanding. I mean, this is a veteran quarterback. We've seen it before. We shouldn't be surprised by it, but he's on top of his game right now.
Brady Oliveira here, short pickup on first down. Here's a look at Collaros last week, what we were talking about.
So he missed just 5 throws. Did not make the mistake to throw the interception. And there's the 14 passes. It's a career high for him and completed passes consecutive. So just on top of it. And you know what? The Edmonton Elks didn't play bad defensively. They had a good third quarter.
He found a way.
And he found a way. He found the open guy.
Get this one away. Intercepted. It's taken away. Webb down to the 5. End zone touchdown, Calgary. Webb with the pick 6 of the Stampeders. Increase their lead at home.
Damon Webb must have heard us talk about Zach and how he's on top of his game. Said, okay, I got to end this conversation as quickly as I possibly can. How about jumping to curl? That's Damon Webb disguising the fact that he wanted to be deep middle, that he was going to be deep to help with any deep throw. He sat on the route, jumped it on the inside curl. Zach didn't count him on that underneath coverage. That's a pick 6 for Damon Webb. And Collaros, in our video chat with him this week, said Damon Webb's a great player. He was great in Ottawa, too.
He gave him a lot of praise, didn't he? Probably won't do the same right now, I would think. Webb's first interception of the season, and he's had a good year as Calgary in full control early. 15-3, they lead.
Zach Collaros wanted Nick Dembski. Here's Damon Webb right here. He thinks that he's going to be deep in the middle with a zone look coming from the Calgary defense. Go ahead and run it, guys, and watch how Damon Webb disguises it. Stop it there. Now, he looks like he's going to drop into that deep middle zone. He doesn't. He jumps the curl route, knowing that they're outnumbered on that side. 4 defenders to the 3 receivers. Jumps that inside route. He takes it to the house, 30-yard pick 6. The Calgary Stampeders a big lead in this game early on.
Winnipeg Blue Bombers facing an early deficit here in their push to go to 4-0 on the season. But when we talked with Zach earlier in the week about the Calgary defense, he did mention Damon Webb, and that's one of the guys that he has to worry about. It's funny to see it come to fruition here early in this one.
Yeah, and he brought up 2 guys, Damon Webb and Flo Rimolano.
Valvol takes it at the 10, pushes it out almost all the way up to the 35-yard line, and we'll see what Collaros does for a bounce back here on the road. He's 5 of 6, but that one incompletion ended up in his own end zone.
This is unfamiliar territory for the Bombers when they're down early in a game. But I mentioned, you know, how Zach Collaros is seeing the field, understanding it. That was a great disguise by Damon Webb. He mentioned Webb to us, that he's an outstanding football player, was in Ottawa as well, played a different position there. Here he's the safety for the Calgary Stampeders, but Collaros bounced back after a slow third quarter last week. He'll be back.
From the 34, Collaros pushing it ahead. And out of nothing, he gets something, and that something being 6 yards right up the middle.
Yeah, that's not a design play that Winnipeg runs unless Chris Streveler is in the game. That's really an RPO look, but because their Stampeder flashed right in his face, he didn't have a chance to go out and look for a throw. He's got what he could.
was Clarence Hicks who stared him down. Still coming away with a decent pickup on first downs. It'll be 2nd and 4. Final play of the opening quarter of the Stampede Bowl. Brady Oliveira pushing ahead. Heavy contact. Won't stop him, though. And he's got a first down for Winnipeg, who find themselves trailing by an even dozen here in Calgary. What a start for the Stampeders as they look to begin the year 3-1. They lead 15-3 at home. Well, Calgary leads 15-3. If you actually look at the stats, a lot of time of possession for Winnipeg. Pretty good on the ground, but that pick 6 really stands out pretty significantly right now.
Yeah, uncharacteristic of Zach Collaros, especially after we talked about how well he played last week. But Damon Webb, nice disguise there. And when you think about the Calgary game plan, it's been 2 big plays. The big play to Clark Barnes for the touchdown, and then that pick 6 by Damon Webb. So yeah, 2 big plays. Other than that, it's the Winnipeg game plan. Good running game, ball control. They had the time of possession in the first quarter, but Dave Dickinson will look at the scoreboard and say, I'm happy with the way that first quarter turned out. We got the lead.
You'll take it. There's no doubt about that. It was a first down for Winnipeg to wrap up the opening quarter. No work from their own 47 to start quarter number 2. Back on the ground to Brady. We were distracted during the quarter break as Enoch raced the world's fastest cow.
Look at that. Hat flew off.
Classic
checking
cow.
Behind. That cow can go now, too. Enoch's going to... I guarantee you those nachos are sitting right where they need to be. He's going, well, I ate too many of those bag nachos. I tell you that right now.
Big win. Congratulations, Enoch. Still got it.
Why does he get such a big lead at the start?
I mean, that's obviously was unfair now. Probably should have started the same place. Lapo sitting there watching, still eating the world's largest taco in a bag. They'll get it to Brady Oliveira here. And that will not be enough for a first down. And Winnipeg's going to have to kick it away and play the field position game a little bit.
That was pretty good, though. Enoch maybe could still play a couple downs.
Kind of looked like it, didn't it?
Like it. I love it. I want some more of it.
That's good. That was good. Benjamin goes back to return this kick. Jamison Sheen for the first time today from his own 41, hangs it up there, had the win at his back on this kick. Benjamin takes it, spins to nowhere though, taken down just outside the 12 after a 49-yard kick. Vernon Adams with a 12-point lead will have the ball when we return to Cowtown. Well, there's a live look at Clark Barnes, who we have not seen since he had that 43-yard touchdown. He has not come back to this football game. Here's a look at it.
Right at the end of this,
right there,
it looked like his ankle got twisted and rolled on. He hasn't returned. The Brampton native, who coming into this game tonight led the team in receiving yards, and I mentioned that huge average for Clark Barnes at almost 29 yards per catch.
I got it.
I think this is an offside or procedure.
Offside. Winnipeg number 5. It's a 5-yard penalty. We'll repeat first down.
That's Willie Jefferson.
They're looking at that angle, going to get a retape. But yeah, this is the average I'm talking about, 28.8 per catch. His teammate Dominic Rhymes at 21.4 is the closest.
After that big catch, it now sits at 30.9 for his average on the year. Here's Adams bouncing around the pocket, gets it away near side. That's Alford, and he's got a first down for Calgary. The first overall pick in the 2025 draft has his 3rd catch of the year.
Tremendous mobility by Vernon Adams. Dave Dickinson talked to us about how much he likes his mobility and that he wants him to use his legs. He'd like him to run occasionally, but that was running with his eyes up, downfield, gets the shoulders around, takes a bit of a hit after the throw. First down.
Rough ride for VA thus far in the Stampede Bowl. This time they'll stretch it out. Mills finds some room all the way up to the Calgary 35. A pickup of 7 for Dedrick Mills.
Nice run off that left side. Zach Williams at guard. There's 4'10". I talked about playing for Bryce Bell up front. Done a pretty nice job so far in this game against a real good defense.
Mills, 7 career 100-yard games for the Calgary Stampeders. They're going to go back to him again. A little bit of a spin move. Looking for some help to push it ahead, but he's driven back instead. And we'll see where this ball is spotted. I think it'll be short of the first down. Not by much.
Mobile quarterback can also really help a running game after he hands the ball off. Vernon Adams is really good at this too. He goes back to the fundamentals that you're taught as a young kid as a quarterback, where once you hand the ball off, continue with your bootleg or continue with your movement outside of the pocket, so it keeps that backside defender from getting there in a hurry.
Quincy Vaughn is in, looking to push it ahead, and believe. There it is. You see Ben Major there signal the first down for the Stampeders.
Quincy Vaughn, big man out of North Dakota, 250 pounds. 23-year-old has not been denied yet. There's a couple of attempts in the short yardage department, but 3 for 3 on the season.
They'll work from their own 39. Walker's in to try to pave a path for Mills. Does not work this time as the tackle is made by Kyrie Wilson.
I'll show you the fake that Vernon Adams goes with after. Again, this is just a simple running play off the right side of the offensive line. And watch Vernon Adams after he hands the ball off. It may be a small thing, but he hands it off, and then he walks out like he still has the ball and holds that defensive end for one more split second.
Lost a yard on the play, so likely throwing down here for Vernon Adams. Winnipeg shows pressure. They bring pressure. VA hit as he throws down the field. Up for grabs. And it's held on to Tevin Jones on the far sideline. Wins a battle with Terrell Bonds.
Tevin Jones out there at wide receiver. 16 targets coming into this. 81 yards receiving. That's probably his biggest play as a Stampeder. I know that Dave Dickinson wanted to get him after playing against him when he was in Edmonton.
It's good things in Edmonton.
Well, it's amazing how much that happens, where when you become a free agent, all of a sudden a team calls you because you played well against that team.
Remember that game? 24 yards there for Jones. Back to Mills, trying to break away from Willie, but eventually goes down.
So Labor Day last year, Edmonton in town, of course, Labor Day weekend. This happens, and Tevin Jones scoops this, fumble, takes it outside. Now, he had over 200 yards receiving in that game, so this was just one of a bunch of plays. And I think Dave Dickinson looked at that and said, when that guy becomes a free agent, we got to get him over here.
Well, and with them losing Reggie Begelton, opportunity for Jones here to maybe contribute a little bit more. Calgary marching again.
Nice
big hole right up the middle for Mills. Eventually tracked down inside the 20. That's a touchdown saving tackle at the end of it for Marquise Bridges, I believe.
You're going to be a star receiver. You got to block too. You got Dominic Rhymes there. He's looking backside. Watch the run to Mills. Mills over here. Early movement.
See how they sort this one out. 20-yard carry for Mills to put them back inside the red zone.
Offside, Winnipeg number 6. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's still going to be first down.
Retta Cranby.
There's Dominic Rhymes. You can see from the outside, Tevin Jones as well come in for a block. Right here. Big block by Jones in that second level.
Calgary looking for more here. Adams 1st and 5 from the Winnipeg 11. 3 options out to his wide side right. Dedrick Mills stands in next to his quarterback. VA throwing, and it's dropped. Looking for Philpott, and he couldn't hang on.
Had a nice talk with Jalen Philpott, who, you know, that despite this drop has had a good start to the season, and he's had a injury-plagued journey. You think about that hamstring that cost him an entire season a couple years ago, and then came back slowly last year. 650 yards receiving.
10th play of the drive for Adams. A ton of time in the pocket. Dumps it off. Far side. End zone. Touchdown. Damien Alford, welcome to the Canadian Football League. His first touchdown comes here at the Stampede Bowl as Calgary takes full control.
Goes from the left side of the formation, Alford all the way across. So this is a route that takes time to develop, and the protection provides the time to Vernon Adams. Waits for Alford to clear the linebackers. Once he gets outside leverage, he gives him the ball, and away he goes. He's got the corner for the major.
Vernon Adams Jr., we talked about it coming in. 3 games, no touchdown passes. He's got 2 in the first half of this one against Winnipeg. Paredes up and through. And how about this start for Calgary? They lead 22-3. Alford, first overall pick, has his first touchdown.
Combination coverage here for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Alfred's going to do this crossing route. He's got a deep route here. That takes the deep zone players out of it, and a curl on the outside. That curl is going to freeze the linebacker. So here comes Alfred on the crosser. The curl freezes the linebacker there. He gets clear and outside of that, and now he's got the corner and outside leverage. 11-yard touchdown for his first in the Canadian Football League.
Moves well for a big man, 6'6". This is taken just inside the 30. Short return pushed out beyond the 40. And the Calgary Stampeders, full control of a huge divisional game against Winnipeg. Canadian, no doubt about it. 6.5 to play first half. Winnipeg got to get something going offensively here. Out in the flats. Stearns trying to break a tackle. He will not. Covered extremely well on the play by Moncrief.
Yeah, Moncrief's chipped in a bunch in the start of this season for the Calgary Stampeders. 3 knockdowns, couple tackles for losses. That's another big play on the quick hitch to the outside, and watch how quickly Moncrief goes.
They lose 2 yards on the play. 4 receivers, wide side right for Collaros here. Needs 12 for the first down. Gets it away. bobbled but held on to. Moncrief the tackle again. And it'll be a 2-and-out for Winnipeg. Third catch of the game for Clercius.
Oh, let's take a look at Derek Moncrief's work. Looking at the quarterback, he's got his zone drop. He lets the deep one go. That's not his responsibility. He knows if there's a deep one, there's probably something coming underneath. It's Clercius. So he waits on him, lines him up, puts that helmet between the 8 and the 6.
Benjamin takes this kick just inside the 20, and he's tripped up. For more on Jalen Philpott, let's send it back down to Chantel Chan.
Yeah, so Jalen Philpott has been on an absolute tear as of late, and he really attributes it to just the experience that he's gotten. He said when he first came into the league, he felt like he wasn't able to read coverages, but he knew at one point it would come, and that's exactly what his brother Tyson said to him as well. He said, don't worry about it, it will come to you. Jalen said the biggest difference right now is his confidence. He knows he can make big plays and score touchdowns in this league. Guys?
Ton of potential still there with Philpott. First and 10 from the 26. Adams dumps it off. And Mills pushes it ahead.
Well, I mentioned the good start to the season. I mean, week 2, targeted 8 times, 6 catches, and 117 yards. It's a nice 40-yarder. You know, and he and his brother Tyson are competitive as well. So it's probably been driving him crazy. In fact, we know it's been driving him crazy that Tyson's been just lighting it up over there in Montreal. And Jalen has gone through the injuries. He had the hamstring in 23, came back in 24, was just trying to find his way, as Chantel mentioned, and now feels much more confident.
Bought his first cowboy hat this week as well. Hands it off. Mills pushing ahead. And Dedrick Mills so far in this game has been a hard-working man.
The other thing you can do with Jalen Philpott, if you're Coach Dickinson and the offensive staff here, is get him on those fly sweeps. His brother Tyson does that as well, and those just a running play to take it wide. When you get Dedrick Mills working between the tackles, you've got a mobile quarterback that's going to freeze the ends, and then you can run the fly sweep to Jalen Philpott.
Another first down for Calgary. They're going to be 6 wide here, 3 left, 3 right. He'll throw to his right, and that is caught by Brooks, his second catch of the ball game as the Stampeders continue to move the ball.
And Vernon Adams is comfortable right now against a very good defense. Defense ranked 3rd against the run coming in after 3 games. Defense that was in the top 3 in the giveaway takeaway category coming into this one.
Winnipeg's defense allows 19 points per game. They've given up 22 so far in this one. Adams got him down the field. He's got him, and he's wide open. It's Philpott trying to cut it inside of the 20. Made a move. Another one. It's still going all the way down to the 5, and he's tripped up just short. That would have been spectacular. Philpott that close to a house call. Calgary's offense explodes again. 66 yards for number 85, and they're knocking on the door.
We have a monster halftime coming up, and if you thought the Stampede Bowl was fun, you got to get in with the fans here at the Corral. These guys were losing their mind after the last play. VA's been fantastic, and Enoch raced the cow. It's all coming up at half.
Of course, Lapo's not there because he's still eating the taco in a bag. But Caden Enoch down there in the corral. Calgary looking to find the end zone again and blow this thing wide open. First and goal from the 2. Adams gets it away, and that's broken up. Big play by Evan Holm, denying Philpott of the touchdown.
Yeah, the Bombers really got to dig in here and try to hold Calgary to just a field goal attempt, and Evan Holm gets them started with a real nice knockdown and good timing. That left hand, by the way, on the back of Philpott didn't turn the receiver. You're allowed to leave it there. It's allowed to be touching the back of the receiver. You just can't twist him or turn him. Holm did a nice job not to pull or get the penalty flag.
Another crack at it for the home side. 2nd and goal from the Bomber 2. Adams hands it off. Mills up the middle. Touchdown Calgary. His 5th rushing touchdown of the season. And this is a stunner at McMahon as Calgary blows it wide open.
Good low leverage by that offensive line. Deep handoff from Vernon Adams. You know, the downside of the deep handoff is that if there's penetration from the D-line, it can stop that run. But the upside is it gives the tailback a chance to have a second to pick his hole.
Paredes out for another. And Calgary leads 29-3. A 6-play, 84-yard drive. And safe to say, here at the Stampede Bowl, Calgary is hotter than a hoochie coochie.
5 rushing touchdowns for Dedrick Mills, I should say. Now you got me going.
Early season fantasy stud, Dedrick Mills. Must start in your lineup with what he's done so far. That was set up, though.
Yeah, by Jalen Philpott on this deep ball. Again, real comfort level from Vernon Adams. But for that one time he got rolled in on the opening series, he has sat in that pocket with lots of time to throw in a throwing lane to get it out of there, including deep crossing routes from one side of the formation to the other. That deep route by Jalen Philpott.
I swear. She's making me work for it. The first one?
Just over 2 minutes left to go. And Winnipeg put some points on the board before halftime and cut into a 26-point lead.
Zach Collaros has time to do it. 2:08 left. There's time, and you know there's going to be a sense of urgency.
Well, Winnipeg had a great first drive, settled for a field goal, and have not really moved the ball at all since. Gave up a pick 6 and have not really gained much consistently the rest of the half.
Well, that first drive was a big Brady Oliveira drive, and the Stamps stopped them down inside the 20 and held them to a field goal. Since then, they've shut the door.
And nothing really down the field from Collaros just yet. Dumps this off. Brady Oliveira hauls it in, and it's tackled just outside the 35. Jacob Roberts trips him up.
Oliveira right here. Roberts right here. There's your matchup. Looks like sort of a zone drop for Roberts, and then he sees the screen, reads the play. The screen indicator are those 2 offensive linemen out in front of Brady Oliveira. Nice close by Jacob Roberts.
Second and 4. Collaros, there's a shot downfield, looking for Schoen, and he misses him over his head. Incomplete. 2 and out. Winnipeg again.
Like Micah Teitz off the edge, or it may have been Clarence Hicks. That's Clarence Hicks coming off the edge, and he is just enough to distract Zach Collaros in this throw. Just a redirect that was enough, so he threw it over that rush and just missed Dalton Schoen. Here he comes here, little redirect, and then right to Zach Collaros, and because Collaros doesn't miss that throw.
Low snap, low kick. Jamison Sheen, that's going to bounce. Benjamin takes it on the run. 54-yard kick, short return, multiple flags with 90 seconds remaining in the opening half.
Time for points for Calgary.
Does Calgary do more damage here?
There's a minute 30 is a long time in Canadian football. And the protection that Vernon Adams has seen in this first
During
half.
the return, illegal block. Calgary, number 77. We'll go back 10 yards. It's going to be first down for Calgary.
Well, that makes it a little more difficult, but
Vernon Adams' first half is 9 of 12 for 193 yards and 2 touchdowns. He is 4-3 in his career versus Winnipeg. So he's one of the few quarterbacks over the last few years that has found a way to have some success against the Bombers. And he's having a lot of it so far here today. He's on the verge of a 200-yard half. Not passing here. They'll hand it off to Mills, who's done a lot of damage himself. He's stopped just shy of the 20.
You mentioned his 4-3 record. He also has his best game passing against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. That was back in 2019. Now, the Bombers end up winning the Grey Cup that year, but he threw for 488 yards in the game and 4 touchdowns.
Fixes the shoelace, settles back in, shotgun, 2nd and 4. Throwing, one hand on it, Tevin Jones, but could not haul it in. That's 3rd down, and Calgary forced to punt it away with 64 seconds remaining in the half. It's their second 2-and-out of the ball game. Winnipeg's punted 3 possessions in a row.
Now, if I'm Mike Miller, the special teams coach for the Bombers, I might just go with a full-out block the punt rush here. Rally back to a return. Looks like Calgary's ready for something like that. They're trying to make sure they have the protection correct.
Lassett gets it away, hangs high. Vavel takes it at the 51, kicks it to the outside and back down inside the 50, but another flag on the play.
I got it. Go ahead.
O'Shea will be looking for answers and adjustments at halftime.
The formulas for success for the Bombers has been be the lowest penalized team in the league, and they have been for 4 straight years. They were again coming into this one, and win the turnover battle. They're a +4 coming into this game. Again, that's in the top 3 in the league coming in. You know, you win those 2 categories, you have a really good chance to win because you're not beating yourself. You win the turnover battle, you don't take a lot of penalties. They have 5 penalties in this first half, the Bombers. And coming into this game, we're averaging 5.3 per game. This is their 5th penalty against in this first half.
During the return, there were 2 holding penalties against Winnipeg. The first one is against number 46. That occurred while the ball was in flight. We're going to apply that penalty. We're going to go back 10 from where the ball was caught. The second holding penalty is by rule decline. First down for Winnipeg.
So unofficially 6 penalties, officially counted 5 penalties.
CFL returns tomorrow with Friday Night Football as the Ticats take on the Argos. Catch all the action at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on TSN. I would like to also point out, wonderfully explained by Ben Major.
Yes, he's really good at that.
So back on their 42, can they find some points in the next 53 seconds? Kolaris, far side, and that is incomplete. Was looking for Carrick Wheatfall. That's his first target of this ball game, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
The flags in the corners look pretty dead as far as wind goes, but we saw with some of the kicks, it looked like there was some wind down there, so tough to tell, but it really looked like some kind of a swirling wind affected that last throw from Kolaris.
6 for 11 on 2nd down this evening. Kolaris, time in the pocket, finds Schoen in the flat. He turns it up, and that's a first down Winnipeg with 41 seconds on the clock. 13 yards to Schoen, who found just enough room on that far sideline.
About 2 first downs away from a field goal attempt to end the half here.
Castillo has one from 55 already this year. Of course, hit from 60 last year twice. Which doesn't sound real, but it is. First and 10 midfield. And that one, once again, into the reliable hands of Dalton Schoen. Takes it just outside the 40, and they would be within a field goal attempt here with 36 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, Dalton Schoen got up limping after that catch as well. Good recognition for Collaros against his own. Stamps don't want to give up the big one.
Moving quickly now, near side, that is caught. It was close. Clercius, though, has it, and they're down to the 31.
Roman Empire Clercius makes another catch, and this time it's real concentration to pull it in because he has a defender in front of him that's distracting him. Rips this down and then has the presence of mind to get to the sideline, get out of bounds. Stop the clock.
That was Adrian Green, who already has 2 interceptions on the season. That one would have been going the other way. From the 31, Collaros near side, Clercius again, and he's out of bounds with 21 on the clock. That's his 5th catch of the half.
You know, Stamps are going to play off. They don't want to give up the one throw touchdown, but they're allowing a lot of space. There's more room for Clercius underneath.
Winnipeg, 2nd in inches. Collaros within field goal range, but would love a touchdown. Kind of salvage the half a little bit. That's complete to the 15. Wheatfall's first catch of the ball game. Tackle made by Tights. What can you do in 16 seconds, Suits? Clock ticks. Collaros looking end zone, far corner, Schoen out of bounds. Green made sure he could not come down inbounds with the ball. 7 seconds on the clock.
Now you're in that bubble area if you're Coach O'Shea and Zach Collaros trying to decide that's out of bounds. And you're trying to decide, do we have time for one more shot and then a field goal? Don't want to give up a chance for some points before the end of the half. Risk it and try for one more shot.
I think they do have enough time. 7 seconds on the clock.
Although down by the score, they're down by, maybe they're going to go for it anyway.
Collaros from the Calgary 13. Looking for something in the end zone. He's going to take off. Now he throws it too high, incomplete. Was on the run looking for Wheatfall. 1 second left on the clock. And now Castillo will trot out onto the field to get some points out of this.
Yeah, I'm not giving Zach Collaros an alibi here because he overthrows this, but because he had a touchdown if he hits his receiver. But he knew how much time he had left. And he got it down to 1 second, had to get rid of it, or else they lose a chance. If he doesn't make that or he gets tackled there, they don't get a field goal either. They don't get any points out of it. So he rushed that a little bit, overthrew the intended target.
I thought he was going to try to run in another 13-yard touchdown there. Castillo puts it up, and it's through, and it's 29-6. The half in favor of the Calgary Stampeders, but Suits, write this down. Take a little note. There's a lot of football left in this game.
We're here for a good time, buddy. We're here for a good time.
Damien Alford, he'll be around for a long time. I can guarantee that. First overall pick, first touchdown in the league. He stands by with Chantel.
Damien, you've got your first touchdown ever in the CFL. Tell me what you saw on that play and how good does that one feel?
I just seen green grass and I seen VA release out of his hand. It was going my direction, and after I caught the ball, I just seen the end zone, and that's exactly where I was going to go, so it felt good.
This offense is rolling right now, big lead heading into the second half. How do you continue to put your foot on the gas to make sure that you don't lose that lead?
We just got to continue doing what we were doing in the first half, continue playing our style of football, and you see the receivers are making big plays from me to the older guys. We just got to continue doing what we're doing, and we'll be fine.
Congrats and good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, let's get you back to Kate Burness and the rest of the panel here at the Stampede Bowl.
Chantel, a heck of a first half for Damian Alford and the entire Calgary Stampeders. We break it down coming up next. Well, if you're a Calgary Stampeder fan and you came to the Stampede Bowl, you had a heck of a first half, and now you're watching Brett Michaels as well. I'll tell you, these fans are so into it, and how could you not be? Your team is currently up 29-6. So welcome you back inside McMahon Stadium. Kate Burness alongside Enoch Mwamba and Paul LaPolice, and of course the Stampede Bowl trophy. It is a thing of beauty. We have a half of football, and then we will be presenting it. Look, this game starts with Vernon Adams, and we talked before the game, are we finally going to see VA with a passing touchdown? He had 2 in the first half and also 193 yards. VA looks completely dialed tonight, Enoch.
The Calgary Stampeders have been waiting for this Vernon Adams to show up, and he absolutely showed up tonight. He started throwing the ball to multiple receivers with over 20 yards. You talk about Clark Barnes with a huge explosive play. 3 different receivers with explosive plays in the first half. Clark Barnes, Tevin Jones had a big play. And we saw also Jalen Philpott come in and have a huge contribution as well. This is the type of game that this offense wants to play. We talked about it coming into this game. Will VA be able to score touchdowns? He answered that question really quickly, but also it was necessary for this team to have the type of start that they had, because you don't want to fall behind against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And you got to remember, this game's not over because these guys on the other side, they know a thing or two about playing from behind.
And a little bit of the game inside the game for the Calgary offense. Their time of possession, you know, it's similar time of possession, but it looked like they took a drive or 2 away from Winnipeg. I thought they did that. So let's talk Calgary Stampeders defense. Very spectacular. You heard off the top, Flo Erlimilade said, hey, we're going to do 2 things. Stop the run, and we're going to not give up any big plays. Brady Oliveira right now has 45 yards rushing, and he's got a long of 8. All came on that first drive of the game. But they are stopping the run, and there are no deep balls. There's only 12 yards depth for Zach's deepest pass, and he's got 57 yards. That's what they want to do. You add this Damon Webb pick 6 from a backed up position. So the defense is stepping up, doing what they wanted to do. And I'll tell you what, stopping a team to a 3 points, as you know, Enoch, right before the half instead of a touchdown, that's another big football IQ move by those guys defensively to go into that half not giving up a touchdown.
It's huge, and it's something you can talk about at halftime too. It's another little confidence booster as a coach can also emphasize in at halftime. You talk about that defense, coach. They are doing an amazing job neutralizing Brady Oliveira. And one other thing that Falana Miladi also said when he did his pregame interview, he said, we want to make this team one-dimensional. And what did we see? They were one-dimensional. Brady wasn't as involved as we've seen him before. And Zach Collaros, I don't think we've seen him struggle the way that we have even in this game so far.
Yeah, and at 29-6, everybody, it's going to be one-dimensional. Brady's not going to get as many carries because they got to climb back into this game.
You know, I like what you said about Brady, though. Yeah, he has 45 yards. His longest was an 8-yard run, but those are hard yards, too. And, I mean, this is a guy coming back on injury, and you're watching him run this way. Obviously, he looks healthy, but my goodness, he's putting himself through a lot right now.
Absolutely, and you gotta highlight that defense. Jacob Roberts, number 48 for this Calgary Stampeders defense. The linebacker has been all over the field tonight, and I love what I'm seeing from the young man. You talk about the injuries that were in front of him. He is stepping up right now. Whenever you find yourself in a hole like this, it's about who is willing to step up. Yes, it's not a good situation to be in when guys get hurt, when you're losing games, and there's a lot of pressure. But that presents a huge opportunity, and Jacob Roberts is doing a great job right now to step up, Coach.
I mean, the whole game, I just keep hearing Enoch. Who's that linebacker? Look at Roberts. Look at Roberts.
I want to talk about him, Coach.
Talking about the line.
I keep saying it.
I love it. Hey, let's give one shout out. Clark Barnes with another huge explosive play. So he's been spectacular this season, been their go-to guy. He only has a few catches, but he's one of the top leading receivers in the Canadian Football League in yardage per catch. So another big play. Really good game plan by, I thought, Dave Dickinson, Pat Delmonico. The corners in this defense are Winnipeg. You can get behind them and
make double moves on him. That showed up early in the first half.
Look, there's so much more football to be played, and we all know this. This is CFL. Anything can happen. The one team I'm never going to count out is the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Enoch, what adjustments do you need to see from Winnipeg in the second half here?
They have to make some plays, and they have to be able to move the ball. Coach talked about the time of possession. You have to find a way to hold on to the football, score points, obviously, but also you got to limit Vernon Adams. You got to put a little bit more pressure on him and force him to make mistakes so that you can get the ball back against Zach Collaros.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, there's got to be a couple of takeaways go on Winnipeg's side so they can get short field so they can make some plays. So Winnipeg's got to get a couple takeaways, and obviously Brady's going to be less involved. They got to get Dalton Schoen involved some of those deep passes.
Adams a Cowboy because he's loving this game.
I was waiting for any type of Cowboy reference. I will say this, though, I don't think anyone saw this coming. The big discrepancy in the first half, we all know it can change. But by the way, one of my first half highlights was you, Enoch Mwamba, racing the world's fastest cow, and once again, shocking. I don't see anyone saw this one coming as well. Taking a look at the rest of the Week 5 schedule. Friday Night Football. It is a Battle of Ontario. The Hamilton Tiger Cats facing off against the Toronto Argonauts. You can see pregame 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. And then on Saturday, BC taking on Montreal. And it all wraps up with Ottawa taking on Edmonton, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on Sunday. Let's talk about the QBs around the league right now, and a lot of good news. And that's something we certainly wanted to say over the last few weeks. Nathan Rourke will return to the BC Lions. Drew Brown is trending to come back for Ottawa as well. Enoch, when you look at that, and by the way, Davis Alexander too not returning yet. It will be McLeod Bethel Thompson once again. But when you look at Drew Brown and you look at Nathan Rourke, who's the most important for you?
Kid, I'm going to go with Drew Brown. That team desperately needs him. We were just in Ottawa right before Canada Day, and we saw how much that offense struggled without him. And this is the same team. Week 1, opening game of the regular season in 2025. He came out there in Saskatchewan and threw for 400 yards. And he was outstanding that game. And we thought that that's what we were going to continue to see. And when his absence, that offense was absolutely struggling. They won't come out and say it, but all those defensive players over there, they won't say anything about it. But when you're playing defense and giving it your all, and 2 scores, 2 touchdowns get put on the board, and you didn't even step on the field, that's tough. It's discouraging, and as a defense, you're frustrated. But you want to find a way for the offense to put points on the board. Drew Brown is that guy for the Red Blacks, Kate.
Let me make one point before I go to who I think is real important. For the Red Blacks, they released Dartley, their starting right tackle. They got to help whatever quarterback's playing over there. They got to give that guy more time to start. Hopefully Drew Brown trends out and can get the ball in his hands quicker. All right, but I'll tell you, there is a rose in BC, right? There's a rose in BC because Nathan Rourke's coming back. There is a thorn.
Are you quoting Bret Michaels' lyrics?
I am quoting Bret Michaels in Poison because every rose is a thorn.
No
is behind me right now.
one can hear Bret Michaels right now.
They're playing the Owls defense, but Nathan Rourke comes back. You know, he's got to get the ball out of his hand quickly. I can remember I was in the game in Montreal last season. They went into Montreal later as he came back, and he was dynamic against this Montreal Alouettes defense. Had an outstanding game. They need that deep ball that he's good at. But most importantly, he will get the ball out of his hand quickly. And again, the BC Lions, they've got to make sure that they can keep up with people, you know, down the football field and make some of their plays and not do the critical errors like they had last week, the pick 6.
Coach, you talk about getting rid of the football and Nathan Rourke. That's one of the things he specializes in. That's one of the things that really rolls him to the top of this league as a quarterback. And he'll go against the Montreal Alouettes. Guess what's going to happen? Lots of pressure. And he's going to have to be Nathan Rourke when he steps back on that field. He's going to have to be able to dissect the field and get the ball to his receivers and to pick his pockets really well. Because if they can't do that, they don't want to put themselves in a deep hole in the West the way that they already have.
And I think interesting, and go back to the Ottawa-Edmonton game, I want to see Trey Ford. I want to keep seeing more reps of Trey Ford, see how he continues to develop in Jason McSimick's offense. They've had to put some points on the board to be able to stay in their games. Let's see how they do it again this week.
Coach, in Edmonton, we always talk about Trey Ford. I'm going to put out a challenge to that defense. I'm talking to J.C. Sherritt, Aaron Grant. I'm looking looking at that defense to put up some pressure on the court, on the opposing quarterbacks. We had a lot of talk about that defense. Robbie Smith, Jake Serezna, and all of the former Argonauts that are now there, they need to also contribute tremendously to support their young quarterback.
Absolutely, right. You can't unskinny bop these quarterbacks and put them in a bad field.
Stop it. Stop it.
In the house. Yes.
How long did you think of that?
Oh, my God. I don't know. I just came up with it.
No, you didn't. You were thinking about the entire trip to Calgary.
Bop in a conversation? You can't.
You have to explain that to the kids at home. You know what? I need to talk to you about something first, because you were training, you put a lot of hard work, a lot of sweat equity into this one, and there was a lot of hype, just like the Edmonton defense, going into your race against the world's fastest cow, and I'm going to be the first one to say, we are really proud of you. I know Milt Stiegel had doubts at home, but you know what, Enoch? You were so great, and you did us good on the panel.
I appreciate it, Kate. I did it for my panel members. Yep. Milt, I see you. Yep. Davis, I see you. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, Thea, Ada, Briella, my mom, Dad. Thank you guys. I love you guys.
Oh, look at that.
Kate, thank you for funding my training. Look at that hat comes off. Because I was looking at that roll.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, Kate, by the way, I'm not coming out of retirement. I just want to put it out there. All right, I'm not coming out of retirement.
I don't know.
You brought a second
you look pretty
shirt.
nimble.
I did.
Why did you have to change your shirt? Were you sweating so much?
No, I was planning on dead and dirty.
Okay, first of all, and I'm not trying to discredit your win. You won fair and square. That's fine. First of all, I don't think they said that they had a bunch of different cows this year so far. So I want you to raise
Bring
more.
on more cows. Bring them on. We'll eat them like burgers.
But what happened to you tackling the cow? Because you told us for the 2 weeks that you had to prep for this, I'm going to tackle the cow. I'm going to take the cow over my shoulder and go through the finish line.
He needed to be beside me, and he wasn't. I kept looking back, and he was too far. So I had to just win the race fair and square.
Speed kills, Enoch, right? Speed kills, right? That's why I drafted him first overall, right, baby?
I don't know about that. I don't know about. Would you do it again, though, in all honesty?
You know what? I'm retiring.
No, you can't do that.
Yes, I can.
You just said you'd raise every cow a match.
Yeah, bring against the panel. David Sanchez, Milt Stiegel, these guys are got him.
Look, Milt Stiegel could run 2 laps and still beat the cow. I think we can all admit that.
Hey, what a great, I mean, this game is perfect for this new Stampede Bowl.
It's amazing.
You know, what a great crowd and everything. So it's been really cool to be here, see everybody excited about this new game, and hats off to the Stampeders organization
well, you know,
for setting this
as
up.
we said in the pregame too, I mean, this has always been a game where the Stampeders left town. It was, getting away from the Stampede, but now to bring the two together, the greatest outdoor show on earth, along with this game tonight, it's a brilliant partnership. So to Jay McNeil and the entire Calgary Stampeder team, congratulations, because even the crowd, and I get it that the Stamps are currently winning, but this has been absolutely magnificent. And you know what? You can keep quoting all you want, Lapo, because here's your guy, Brett Michaels, and this guy is into it.
He's enjoying it.
Yeah.
Lapo, you going down there or what?
And it don't get better than Calgary, we ready, baby. I'm winning and white. I could not tell you what you spent last night. I'm real sorry about the shape I'm in. Like my phone every now. I'm gonna work and stay every day. Gotta get a break. Same old working times we get away.
Second half of the Stampede Bowl is on the way. Calgary in full control, 29-6. What jumps off the page outside of the score, obviously?
Well, Vernon Adams, 193 yards passing in that first half, avoided the interception, had 2 touchdowns, no picks, but Zach Clark's got a drive going right late in that first half. Clercius was his #1 target.
Yeah, Clercius had an absolutely outstanding half for the Bombers. 5 catches. That's a new career game high for Clercius. He ended up 5 catches for 38 yards, and he's standing by with our own Chantel Jan.
Kevins, you guys were able to put together a pretty successful drive just before the end of the first half. What did that kind of do for you guys in terms of momentum?
I mean, like, that's the type of thing that we've been working in practice, and, like, just making the plays, and just, like, give a boost to the team, and just make plays, and just make us, like, gain yards and, like, be able to, like, score points at the end. So, it's normal for us because we've been working for it, so,
What did Coach say to you guys in the locker room?
you know, just keep playing. Just keep playing. It's never over, you know. Like, football is a fourth quarter. Like, believe. Like, just believe. Make the play when it comes to you. Score points. Stop the defense. Stop the offense. And just score, you know.
Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, so we have an entire second half to play here. Suits, both aspects of the game were dominated by Calgary. What adjustment do you think the Bombers need to make? Is it their defense needs to do a better job, or is it Winnipeg's offense that needs to get going?
Yeah, and that starts with him in Brady Oliveira. Get that offense going. But, I think you're onto something, and Coach LaPolice said it at halftime. I think Michael O'Shea's group is going to have to create a turnover or two. Get a half-field look at it and get Zach a couple of extra possessions because of those turnovers. And it's up to Vernon Adams, Dedrick Mills to avoid the turnover and keep that time of possession edge.
Bavel and Peterson are back to return this kick. It will be Winnipeg that gets the ball to start the second half. Their first drive of the ball game was the best one that they've had so far. They'll look to duplicate it here. Paredes gets us going. Bavel takes it just inside the 15. Back to the 30. And tackle is made cleanly by Kyle Wilson. Let's take a look at Zach's first half. 14-19, 109, and that pick 6.
Yeah, and that was deep in his own end, so it was about 30 yards that Damon Webb had to travel to take that to the end zone. Real nice disguise by Webb, the safety spot.
Third career interception for a touchdown for Webb. Polaris near side. He's got Clercius again. Tackle made cleanly by Adrian Green. 5-yard pickup on first down.
So right back to his leading receiver from the first half, and Kevin's Clercius. Roman Emperor Clercius, I like to call him. He has that name.
Is that his? That's his?
No, I'm giving it to him.
Oh, okay.
Roman Emperor Clercius.
Put it on a T-shirt in Winnipeg.
Marcus Aurelius.
Clercius. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I like the movie. Not the second one as much. Here's Dembski. Great tackle, close to a first down. Looks like it will be enough.
And here's the other thing, with Nick Dembski, who they can activate at any time. And right now, the Calgary defense doing a pretty nice job of trying to take him away. In fact, he was the intended target on the Damon Webb pick 6. Almost like it was a bracket, like they looked to bracket him. Zach Collaros, I believe, looked like he thought Damon was going deep, and they jumped it. But they can activate and move him around and get Nick Dembski the football.
4 receivers, wide side left for Collaros. And trying to get it to Brady Oliveira. I think Zach was thinking about pulling it, but waited too long.
Or Oliveira grabbed it, and they were sort of struggling. This is execution that you just don't see. Like poor execution that you just don't see. Patrick Neufeld spun around. It was like he was in the backfield and didn't know why. He got pushed back and turned around, and now he's in the middle of the mix. I mean, that is just flat out poor execution, and you don't see that in Winnipeg offense very often.
Bomber-like for sure. 2nd and 12, just 3-man pressure from the Stampeders. Collaros down the field. Oh, you don't see that very often either. Through the hands of Dalton Schoen, would have had a first down and more, and it's been one of those nights.
Boy, right in the window too. I mean, he is right in the window, that number 2 spot on the throw. Watch the timing, little out cut, then back into the window between the 2 defenders. Wow, you can't throw it any better. Looking down that sun line.
I was going to say, are we going to blame the sun a little bit?
Yeah, I'm giving him an alibi. He's looking right into the sun off the corner of the stadium there. You can see it.
Got to have it, though. Jamison Sheen, big kick. 60-yard kick. Benjamin goes back for it. And he's tracked down from behind just before he gets to the 30. Special teams tackle by Nick Hallett. Rhymes has extended his streak for catches in a game. Calgary on top. Well, you'll see a lot of things during Stampede Week. How about two guys streaking? Maybe later on in the week somewhere, but these two guys doing it tonight. Dembski up to 75 games, Rhymes up to 59 consecutive games with a catch. Consistency is important.
No, it's not.
1st and 10 from the Calgary 30.
There it is.
I'll hand it off once again to Mills. Handles heavy workload regularly. Probably even more so here in this half with a 23-point lead. 2-yard pickup there on his 11th carry of the night.
Yeah, you would expect that they would go to more of a run game, although they were pretty heavy run in the first half to Dedrick Mills. However, you don't want to get too conservative either. So you get a pre-snap read.
2nd and 8 for VA. Adams escapes the left, down the field, and he's got Tevin Jones for a first down, and he's working against Terrell Bonds.
Watch how in this one VA is going to have to change his arm angle to make this completion. He's gonna scramble out here a little bit to the left, just manage the pocket a little bit, not scrambling and running, but he has to change his arm angle. One of the best quarterbacks in the league at doing this. Steps outside, he's got to change the arm angle, drop it down a little bit, but still right on the money.
10 of 14 for 204 yards. Back on the ground again. And Dedrick Mills almost had enough for a first down. It'll be 2nd and short.
Great down block by Deontay Desmarais at the left tackle spot. He's going to get the down block here, and then a couple of fullbacks coming out to get the kick-out block on this run. Backside cut by Dedrick Mills. There's a nice block here. Rhymes up trying to get to the 2nd level. Philpott trying to pick up somebody.
Pushed ahead by Quincy Vaughn. Gets the job done on 2nd and short. And Calgary creeps towards midfield here. Adams, good grasp of this offense.
And lots of time
tonight.
Lots of time to throw. I mean, we haven't mentioned Willie Jefferson tonight.
I think I mentioned him once when he's trying to make a tackle on a running back, but not once when it comes to a quarterback.
Yeah, to disrupting a play, to get his hands up in the lane, to get that key knockdown on 2nd down. I mean, right now the Calgary offensive line has neutralized that Winnipeg front 4.
Front 3 for now with 3 on the line. Willie, the only player in league history with 75 sacks and 80 knockdowns. And they're going to run a draw. Mills stopped this time, and that'll bring up 3rd down.
I don't remember when we've gone this long without highlighting or showing a replay of Willie Jefferson causing havoc on an offense. And there's the numbers you just talked about. And when you add up the quarterback sacks and the pass knockdowns, no one is close in the league's history.
With those two categories combined.
Yeah.
Well, Calgary's done a good job against him so far tonight. They're going to punt it away. Bassett lays one in there. Babel takes it just inside the 10. Babel trying to find some space on the far side of the field, but he's tracked down. Farinaccio. Bombers down by a bunch. There's a look at your special teams leader for the Bombers. 7 special teams tackles so far this season. Second in the league. Had 16 each of the last 2 years. And they've done a good job on him tonight, haven't they, Ken Wallander?
Well, when you're that good on special teams, and he's been excellent, you scout for that, and then you make sure you either double team him or you have at least one on him. And this is another example of the double team. That's how difficult covering punts can be when you're as good as Cadwalader. Scouting report is out. Got to shut him down.
Collaros on the run to his right down the field. He's got Dembski just outside the 40-yard line.
Now that's a type of offensive play. Get Zach Collaros outside and on the run. Change the launch point and a nice strike to Dembski. Playmaker, 18-yard gain. That's the type that can get you going offensively. Get some traction.
Longest play of the game for the offense of the Bombers. 18 to Dembski. First down again. Collaros throwing again. And it's back into the hands of Dembski. His 4th catch of the ball game.
Really impressed with this Calgary defense when you think of the changes that have been made, the young players, especially in the secondary with Sheldon Arnold and Jaden Grant playing halfbacks. I mean, you're talking about 2 rookies in those spots, basically. Damon Webb, new to the Stampeders.
Out in the flat. It's Oliveira pushing it ahead. First down, Winnipeg. Yeah, this Calgary defense. We talked about Winnipeg allowing less than 20 points per game. Calgary's defense, second best in the league at 21.7 points per game. And they're living up to that billing tonight.
You know, really are. And you know, I can give a lot of credit to the leadership group. I mean, Damon Webb, knowing the league in his 5th season, and he helping to bring that secondary, that young secondary together. They're playing fast this year. That's the difference.
1st and 10 from the Calgary 52. Collaros again. It's a first down inside the 40 as he finds Jareth Stearns on the far side of the field. And, you know, a Calgary defense that's been playing very well so far, but they're not just sitting back. They've added Big Hill to the roster, a name that obviously Bombers fans are familiar with.
Yeah, the veteran Adam Big Hill not quite ready physically to play just yet, but it won't be long. They also brought in Kyle Wilson, who is dressed and playing tonight. Get some veteran present for Marquel Lee, who started the season at middle linebacker.
Back on the ground to Brady. Nice move, slips after. Comes up about a yard shy of another first down for Winnipeg.
And I asked Dave, any cheat notes, any like cheat codes from Adam Big Hill on the team you're playing this week? Because if anyone knows the defense or the team and how they operate, it's Adam Big Hill, knowing the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. But that's not why he brought him. Brought him for the leadership, brought him because he could still play. Still got some football in him, I guarantee you.
I think Dickinson told us he knows enough about Winnipeg already anyway.
Yeah.
You know, having coached against the Bombers for the last time. Strevler into the game, first time tonight. He pushes ahead for a first down, and Winnipeg, this is the best their offense has looked since the opening drive of the ball game for them.
There's Adam. Yeah, there's Biggie. And, well, Dave Dickinson called this next few games the gauntlet. I mean, he was talking about they got Winnipeg, they're at Saskatchewan, then they go back to Winnipeg, and then Montreal. He said, we'll know what kind of team we got, and Adam Big Hill can help us when we're in this gauntlet that we're in now.
A series of tough tests coming up. Passing this first one so far. Collaros gets it away. Oliveira down just outside the 20. Another catch for Brady. That's his 4th of the ball game.
Yep. You know who's going to be motivated? Adam Big Hill, to be ready for that game in the Peg.
July 18th.
Friday night football, and panel will be on site, and you know it'll be a jam-packed house.
It'll be weird to see him in Calgary red. Collaros on the run to his left. He's in trouble. Gets it away. And it's incomplete. And will they have to settle for another field goal attempt?
Or do they start playing 3 down right now?
They're going to stay on the field here. Oh, nope.
No, changes his mind.
Change of plans. They're going to go for the field goal instead. It looked like they decided. Collaros was coming back to the huddle. But instead, they'll try to make it a 20-point game. Castillo, 2 for 2 tonight. 9 for 10 on the season. This one, a 29-yard attempt. And he puts it through. 3 more for Winnipeg, but they're down by 20. We were talking about this drop from Schoen being so rare earlier, and we sort of speculated, could it have something to do with the sun? Well, take a look at this.
Yeah, this is what the Bomber receivers are dealing with on that side of the field. That's exactly the sight line that Dalton Schoen would have had on that play. He's got the best hands, arguably the best hands in the game. And they're looking right into that sun. The ball disappears, as you could see.
Adams gets this one away quickly to Jones. Tackled from behind by Adams. Tevin Jones, that's his team high 3rd catch of the ball game.
Now, one of the reasons that he is so dangerous is that he's thick. I mean, 225. So he can catch those little hit screens, and now he's like a running back in the open field. That's a D lineman coming down from behind.
Adams has spread the ball around. 7 different players with at least 1 catch today. Heavy on the line, trying to push it ahead. Got a yard, but will still be a yard short.
Decision time now for Dave Dickinson. You know, with a comfortable 20-point lead here, although in the CFL 20 points is not really comfortable. It's such a dilemma I think for coaches when you feel like I should be able to get a yard with our short yardage group. So let's just be confident and do that. But conventional wisdom says field position. You give it over to Zach right here, you almost cue the comeback.
Quincy Vaughn looking to push ahead.
I don't know.
Close. It's close. Needed the 50. He was close. I think he was probably there.
Well, it depends on where they put the ball down, because their foot was just on that line right where the marker is. Well, that little extra push may have got him there.
First down, Calgary. Needed everything he had to get the 50. Bush not too happy. 1st and 10 for the Stampeders. Mills again picks his way through the defensive line, finds the 2nd level. Rodgers eventually makes the tackle.
Power, patience, and pressing the line of scrimmage, as former great Bomber running back used to tell me, and Andrew Harris. Don't hit the line of scrimmage, press it. Nice run by Dedrick Mills there to do exactly that. Oh, Vernon Adams out there at receiver. Short yardage.
Quincy Vaughn does it again, and he's got another Calgary first down. Notice that a couple times in short yardage. VA just stays out on the field.
Depending on how many pages deep you go into the Dave Dickinson Pat Delmonico playbook, I wonder if there's a throw off of that to the quarterback if he's left uncovered out there.
Ball onto the Bombers' side of the field. Calgary, 20-point cushion, final play of the 3rd quarter. VA finds Tevin Jones. Broke one tackle and pushes it up to the 45.
See what I mean? He's a big boy.
Stampeders looking to keep the Stampede Bowl right here in Calgary. Find themselves in good position, leading 29-9 through 3. Calgary with a convincing 29-9 lead on the Bombers through 3 quarters. And Suchi, look at those stats right there, and it's pretty balanced attack from Calgary tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, Dedrick Mills looking at a 100-yard game, but 216 yards passing for Vernon Adams. And this is an interesting stat we looked at when we were coming into this one tonight. He's 23-7 when he throws for 275 or more. And he's certainly on that pace. I think their protection up front's been excellent for Vernon Adams tonight, giving him lots of time and some nice throwing lanes. He's spread the ball around, and that's what's on the line for the first time ever, the Stampede Bowl.
15 minutes away from crowning a Stampede Bowl champion. Calgary in the driver's seat. Lots of pressure here from Winnipeg. V8 gets it away, but it's incomplete on second down. And Calgary will be forced to kick it away. Here's another look at what we were saying about V8.
Yeah, that's quite the win-loss record when you throw for 275. Very close to that. And the way he likes to sling it down the field, although he is looking at a 20-point lead that he wants to be smart about. Make sure he doesn't get careless and turn the ball over.
Mark Bassett playing in his first CFL game. Takes it his own 50 and gets it away. Vavel watches it bounce and will take a knee in the end zone, and the lead goes to 21. Here's a look at your active leaders around the Canadian Football League. Of course, Reggie Begelton injured right now on the 6th game for Calgary. Dembski just a few hundred yards behind him.
And they're going to need Dembski in this final quarter to get anywhere near coming back down by 21 here. There's Reggie Begelton.
Dembski 4 catches for 41 yards so far in this one. Claris gets it away quickly. And of course, it is Nick Dembski.
But they're having to earn it against this Calgary defense tonight. When you think about that opening drive, looked really good for the Bombers. They were down 7 at the time, but were held to a field goal at the end.
Claris throwing again. And that's Wheatfall. He's got it up to midfield. We've not really seen anything connect deep. Right, their longest completion was 18, and that was to, I think it was Dembski. It was Dembski, and it was a lot of after the catch.
Combination route just to get a little pick on that inside route so that the outside receiver can make the catch.
Polaris again, far side. Clercius has it. He had that last one as well. That was my mistake. It was not Wheatfall. It was Clercius. He's now caught 8 in this ball game. He's got 8 targets, 8 catches. This is the best game of his career.
This young Calgary secondary, though, are just sort of allowing these underneath throws. Everything in front.
Claris looking to throw again. Far side, intercepted. It's taken away by Moncrief. This is a dagger. Can you believe it? Pick 6 the other way. Second of the game for the Calgary defense. Not a flag in sight. And Calgary stampeding their way to a victory here against Winnipeg.
2 pick sixes. Turnover battle favoring the Calgary Stampeders. And I was just explaining how they were allowing these underneath throws. Well, you let that happen. You let that happen until you don't, until you drum it. And that's exactly what Moncrief, the veteran, a 70-yard pick six for Derek Moncrief. That ball goes right in the trophy case. But allow those underneath throws until the quarterback gets overconfident in them and then jump them.
Sixes thrown by Zach Collaros in this game. First it was Webb. This time it's Moncrief. It's a blowout.
So Derek Moncrief is the veteran. There's Derek Moncrief right here. And Zach Collaros has been working that sideline on those quick throws. Moncrief knows it. He's going to give up that inside curl hook route. He just blows right by that and is gone on a 70-yard pick six. That's a veteran savvy, allowing a quarterback to think he's got that easy outside throw again and then jumping.
Many Moncrief, Cassia, Dolly, Mama, Daddy, everybody, Prattville, I love you. Peace. I'm out of here.
Don't blink.
Tough night for Collaros. So this game, we're talking about who beats the Bombers like this. And I thought, well, it reminds me of a game against BC.
Okay.
Went and looked it up. Week 3, 30-6, 2023. Week 3, 30-6, BC in Winnipeg. You know who the quarterback of the Lions was? Vernon Adams. So you don't see this happen to the Bombers very often, but VA did it 2 years ago. 2 touchdowns in that game, 237 yards. And his defense is helping him big time tonight.
Well, that's the thing. As much as we really appreciated the play of Vernon Adams, and he has played very well. 2 pick sixes, huge. One by Damon Webb early in this game to give the Stamps the 2-possession lead early on. I mean, that really set the tone. The first drive of the game when Winnipeg went all the way down inside the 20, but were held to a field goal. That was the next series, or 2 series later. Pick six.
Collaros in trouble, has to heave one far side. Dembski waiting. Green is there immediately, and they really don't get anything off of it.
But Vernon Adams is going to improve to 4-3 against Winnipeg. We can go through all the quarterbacks in the league and look at their win-loss record against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers over the last few years, and there's not many that have a winning record. And if he wins this one, it's 5-3.
Yeah, it's going to be 5-3. When he wins this, it would be an amazing comeback.
You're going to give him
Are you
giving him the win at 12 minutes?
It's a CFL. There's 12 minutes left. We'll see where it goes, but I'll say that they're a heavy favorite right now. There's a flag down the field. That one batted away.
There might be some illegal contact here. Sure. I know that one of the targets for Zach Collaros got in a collision.
It's just illegal contact on the receiver. Calgary, number 21. It's a 10-yard penalty. It's going to make it a first down for Winnipeg.
It's just the 3rd penalty of the game on the Stampeders. They're kind of out-bombering the Bombers.
That's
what's
Absolutely.
happening.
Yeah. They win the plus-minus. They win the giveaway takeaway. The Bombers, they have the fewest penalties. They don't have that tonight either.
Oh, and we've got a challenge flag being thrown. Dave Dickinson is not happy. He's got a 28-point lead, and he's furious.
It is a series, though.
I think Ben Major just wants to know if he's going to challenge. He's trying to cut to the chase there. He's like, okay, I hear ya, but do you want to challenge this or not?
Yada, yada, yada. Are you going to challenge?
No, I mentioned the soup. What a great night, though, for this first inaugural event. And good on the Calgary Stampeders. And I know for years and years they avoided the Stampede to sort of let the greatest show on earth happen on its own. But when you think about it, and all these people traveling in from across the country for the Calgary Stampede, and now you can add, oh, by the way, we can go to a football game to kick it all off the night before. One of the great tailgate stadiums in the entire country. Cowboy hats everywhere. You bought yours.
Yeah, you had one.
I traveled mine in.
I bought one. I'll save it next year.
Calgary wanted to challenge the last play. However, illegal contact is not a challengeable penalty. Therefore, they lose their challenge and they lose one team timeout. It's first down for Winnipeg.
Oh, that backfired a bit. Still leading.
Well, and Coach Dickinson could have got a delay of game penalty as well there. Ben Major decided not to give him that one.
And now another stoppage right before that ball was snapped. And I think we're going to
reset the play here. We're going to reset the play.
And reset the play and probably the time clock.
Blow it back in. Collaros, 25 of 33 for 200 yards, but 2 interceptions that went the other way. Going again, looking for Schoen. What a great play. And Arnold jumped that one, didn't he?
Great play on defense. Well, let's go back and, Dave Dickinson was beside himself angry with this contact here. There's Devine Scott. He's going outside with that straight-on hit. So, it's hard to tell exactly where they were in relation to the line of scrimmage, but if that was past 5 yards, that is illegal contact. Dickinson, I guess, thought it was inside of 5.
Get it to Oliveira. But even a couple of blocks, kicks it to the outside, takes it up to the 45, and then he's drilled out of bounds.
But even then, even then, to be at the 5-yard mark or right at the line of scrimmage, even, I would suggest that might have been a penalty anyway. So, not sure why Dave Dickinson was that angry. We'll have to talk to him next time we Zoom about that one.
He'll have something to say. That's their biggest offensive play of the game there, 20 yards to Brady Oliveira.
Calgary D's making him earn it, no question.
Collaros near side, and that is caught. Stearns gets out of bounds, moves it up on the Calgary side of the field.
But look at this group. I mean, Tyler Richardson is in year 3. But in his first year, basically practice roster guy on the corner at 35. He's the guy who just made the hit on that long out. Now they're going to play off now. They've got the big lead. Look at how much room they're just by alignment from the line of scrimmage. So there's going to be underneath stuff available.
Collaros gets it away again. It's shown this time. He's got another first down. Right around the 40.
But I mentioned out of Central Florida, Sheldon Arnold. And this is not only a rookie, because a lot of the rookies in the CFL are often 28, 27 years old because they've gone through journeys of NFL tryouts, things like that. But these are young guys, and Sheldon Arnold is 23 years old. Jaden Grant, he's one of those 27-year-old rookies at the other halfback.
Throws it at the feet of his running back.
Adrian Green has some experience. Played with BC. He's his 4th year in the CFL. And he's got the 2 picks on the outside. but brand new to this system and brand new to Calgary. And then you throw in Damon Webb, again, the free agent, to pull it all together from the safety spot. I think this secondary is much improved. And when we asked Dave Dickinson this week about it, and said, you know, you got a lot of young guys, new faces on your team, and he goes, don't even remind me.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you never know, because they have to learn the game and the nuance and all that. But this defense is playing great.
11 rookies on this team, and that one almost intercepted. Slow to get up, Dalton Schoen, but he seems to be okay.
Chance to pad the stats with the big lead here. It's Tyler Richardson, I believe, going up with Jaden Grant.
That's it. Schoen did end up going down before he walked over the sideline, but he was not hit here. Just sort of went down, non-contact injury. Let's see. Schoen seems to be okay. We'll be back. On TSN. 3rd and 10. Bombers will be going. Kolaris bouncing around in the pocket. On the run. Out to his right. Can he find anybody? Far side, incomplete. Looking for Clercius again. That is the first ball thrown in his direction that he did not haul in tonight. And it was Tights with the coverage.
Yeah, Micah Tights was the reason he wasn't able to haul that one in. Step for step with the receiver, who picks up a little block on the outside and a chip almost, and then gets out there and turns when Zach Kolaris rolls out. Linebacker stays right with him. There's 42 running right in his hip pocket. Ball's in the air. He sees the hands go up, goes through the hands, and doesn't allow Clercius to get there.
Got to give that Calgary defense credit. That was the best option Zach saw. Everybody else was covered very tightly. Now Mills spinning it ahead. Almost broke that one. He's over 90 yards in the game.
Brought down by number 7, Jamal Parker.
Working his way towards maybe his 8th career 100-yard game.
Right back to him. 2nd and short.
Quincy Vaughn in, pushes it straight ahead, and that one was easy. He's got the first down, takes it outside the 50.
So Dedrick Mills in game 1 against Hamilton, 17 carries, 94 yards, so just shy of his 100 yards there. And then the Toronto game, that was the weird one, where Toronto did a nice job stopping him. There was about 28 yards rushing there in that one on 13 carries. And then I had 96 against Ottawa in the rain game and pushing that 100-yard mark again. So take the Toronto game out of there, consistent in the other 3 at over 90 yards.
Gets it again, runs into some heavy traffic, and is taken down by Tony Jones.
It's tough for coaches, I think, to try to not emphasize one game is more important than another game. It's a game in the regular season, because if you keep doing that, then you run out of ways to emphasize it. And then you get down the line and you go, well, now what do I say now when we really need the game?
Yeah.
But this is an important game.
I was going to say, is there a but?
Stampers. There is a but there, because this is an important test for the Calgary Stampeders, which they've passed with flying colors here.
They'll get it out to Philpott. Philpott has the ball pop out, and it's going to be scooped up by Jamal Parker. Pretty much everything has gone right for Calgary tonight. Not that time. Winnipeg catches a break late here. Ball pops away from Philpott. Welcome back to McMahon Stadium. Calgary in full control, and I want to flash it back to 2019, almost the passing of a torch, sort of, as the Bombers take out Calgary and have gone to 5 straight Grey Cups since.
Well, the Calgary Stampeders were I don't want to use the word, but I will, dynasty leading up to that. Great success they had from Huffnagel to Dave Dickinson. And that was the turning point where Winnipeg sort of took that torch, as you mentioned, and they've become the big dog on the porch since then. They won that year in 2019. And ever since then, they're the best team in the West Division.
Calgary had gone to 4 of the 5 Grey Cups prior to that. Since then, it's been all Winnipeg. They also saw the Stampede Bowl in the house there, getting the white glove treatment.
I like it. I love it. Want some more of it.
Collaros remains in the game. How much longer do you leave him in here, Suits? It's kind of a done deal. Protect against injury. You never know what happens, right?
I'm always...
This one's over.
I'm always for protecting the quarterback when you can.
Collaros steps up. Now he's going to take off. Gets a slide. And a first down.
13-yard touchdown run last week for Zach Collaros.
He said it's not going to become a regular thing.
No.
We chatted with him this week. It was only his 3rd since 2016. Had a couple back in 2022, I believe. Just over 5 to play. Collaros throwing again. On the run. And just has to throw it away with pressure in his face.
But I think about this game, though, and you wonder if sort of headlines and a 3-0 start and coming off a great win against Edmonton where he threw for 334 yards, and you wonder, does that kind of thinking you start to take for granted that you have to go out and earn it every week, and sometimes a loss gives you that reminder. I don't think that's the case with this team, though. The way they're coached and their culture, the Calgary Stampeders earned it tonight. They made some very good defensive plays, 2 pick sixes that were defensive plays, not necessarily even mistakes by the quarterback.
Collaros goes to Brady, and Oliveira tackled quickly by Moncrief again.
Now you can always say, well, the quarterback made the wrong read, or the throw was to the wrong guy. Yeah, okay, but they do that sometimes, well, quite often, as a matter of fact, and get away with it. But those were 2 outstanding defensive plays where they were baited, where Zach Collaros was baited to make those throws. He did. They jumped him, took him back to the house. So full credit to the Calgary defense. They just earned it from all 3 phases tonight.
Everybody clears out. Collaros far side. Drops it into Dembski. Tiptoes along the line. Has a first down for Winnipeg. Dembski's 7th catch of the ballgame.
For the Bombers, they go back and say, okay, we now know what Calgary has. We play them again. The Bombers go on a bye after this game. So lots of time, although it's not that much fun to go on a bye week when you've lost, but they have a lot of time to do a lot of self-scouting and see exactly what happened here tonight and how they can improve on it.
And coming off the bye, they get Calgary. Here's Collaros, dumps it off, and that is hauled in. Joey Kokorin with his first catch in the Canadian Football League out of New Hampshire.
One of the messages for Mike O'Shea will probably be as he walks in, like there's not many teams go 18-0. So this is not something that you know, just let it go break down the game film, look at where the mistakes were made, and then get prepared, have that long extra prep time to get ready for the same team again. And that'll be over in a different house where the crowd noise becomes a real factor in the Bombers' favor.
Third trip to the red zone tonight for Winnipeg. No touchdowns to speak of yet. Dembski inside the 5. It's Dembski's 8th catch of the game. Clercius has 9.
By the way, these two teams play 3 times this year, so points for and against won't factor into that.
They play 3 times in the next 5 weeks. Welcome back to a Thursday night football as we kick off week 5 here in Calgary. Friday night football will take you to Toronto for the Ticats and Argos. Great rivalry game. BC with Nathan Rourke back in the fold heads to Montreal. No Davis Alexander there. And then up to Edmonton on Sunday for Ottawa and the Elks. Bobbled here, high snap. Eventually got control of it. Gave it to Brady Oliveira, but nowhere to go.
Just shot the gaps here. The defensive line and caught Brady Oliveira in the backfield. Bit of a high shotgun snap, but look at that. That's Moncrief again. Enoch was talking about the linebackers for Calgary. Talking about Jacob Roberts. I'll add Derek Moncrief to that list of outstanding performances tonight.
5 tackles and a pick 6 for the 32-year-old Moncrief. Stops in Edmonton and Saskatchewan and now here in Calgary. Collaros on the run to his right. Far side. Stearns is going to say he had it, and they're going to rule it a touchdown for Winnipeg. His first as a Bomber.
Collaros gives him a chance over the shoulder. That's a great catch. Damon Webb's hand and arm is right through there, and he squeezes it with 2 hands. You don't necessarily have to put it under your arm to make it a clean catch. You can just keep it in your hands. I don't think that ball ever touched the turf. What a catch.
Wow. Caught the ball, had Webb's arm in there as well.
But you see the reaction of the Calgary defense there? I think that's something that Dave Dickinson is going to love. First of all, on first down, they jam the run and catch Brady Oliveira in the backfield. Then Damon Webb battles like it's 0-0 in the first series of the game to try and force the incompletion. They're making him earn everything. It's almost like Winnipeg 3-0 coming in, Zach coming off a good game, and the Stamp said, that doesn't impress me much.
It's an 11-play, 62-yard drive, just over 4 minutes. But let's give this catch a little bit more love here. This is as contested as you can get.
Just push to the flat. Still battling this Calgary defense despite the big lead. But what a catch by Stearns. That's a highlight reel catch, even though they're not going to get the 2 points and the W tonight. What a great catch that was. By the way, she's playing on Saturday at the Saddle.
Yeah, Shania. She's the parade marshal who to kick off the Stampede parade tomorrow morning.
Who, by the way, has been the halftime performer in 2 Grey Cups, 2002, I believe. 2001? Was it 2001? Okay.
I looked it up
2017.
Today. Boom, got it.
Okay. That was the great one in Ottawa. Snow falling down. She comes in the bobsled or whatever it was.
Yeah, the snowmobile's doing flips and stuff. Yeah, there's the 90th Grey Cup in 01, and then the 105th in 2017 for Shania, who's parade marshal tomorrow to kick official. This is kind of kicking off Stampede tonight. And then the parade tomorrow morning. we've seen the last of Vernon Adams. P.J. Walker into the game. Was with Seattle in
There's
2024.
no flag on the previous play. The Winnipeg player was pushed out of bounds. Therefore, he's allowed to come back in and participate. No flag. It's first down for Calgary.
So P.J. Walker, Seattle last year, stops in Indy, Carolina, Chicago, Cleveland, was on the practice roster for the final 3 weeks of last season, kind of getting a feel for what Calgary was like.
Thought he played well in the preseason game against the Lions over on Vancouver Island this year.
Stay on the ground here. Also, Eno Benjamin into the game at running back. So Dedrick Mills done for the night. He finishes with 93 yards.
Great night for Vernon Adams, who was real excited to face this challenge and the Winnipeg defense. When we talked to him this week, 13 of 18. Didn't get to that 275 mark, but he'll take it, and avoided the interception. You know, sometimes we call big play VA. When you throw it deep and you push the ball like he does, there's a higher percentage chance that it can get intercepted. They're lower percentage throws, the deep throws. So they kind of go together no matter who the quarterback is. Sometimes as a coach, I think in Dave Dickinson, you got to sort of take that it might happen a little bit if he keeps pushing the ball, but you make the big plays as well, and we've seen a bunch tonight again, starting with Clark Barnes out of the gate.
We did not see Clark Barnes back in the game after that touchdown. Rolled his ankle on his way to the end zone. Quick 2 and out here late for Calgary. Bassett stands on his own 21. Vavel waits on his 21. Some rain, bit of a storm late afternoon. Ended up being a pretty good evening for the Stampede Bowl. 62-yard kick. Vavel takes it back up to the Winnipeg 34.
Vavel's going to get one. Let's take a look at who Chris Trevler will take the last series, and good idea. It probably should have happened a little earlier with the score what it's at, and with this that Zach Collaros has gone through tonight. Thrown to the ground a few times, hit pretty good a few times.
Well, that Calgary defensive line, Clarence Hicks, Jalen Hutchins, and Arimolade, all 3 of them in the top 10 in the league in quarterback pressures so far this season. And they were doing it again tonight. That's Charles Wiley that time. A long night for Zach Collaros. Tightens things up in the West nicely, though, as Calgary will improve to 3-1. Winnipeg falls to 3-1. The Riders on a bye sit at a perfect 4-0, and things at the top of the West early in the season somewhat intriguing.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Third down.
And Calgary goes and faces the 4-0 Saskatchewan Roughriders, who are on the bye this weekend. Now we're just... Are we having any fun yet?
That's exciting. That's next Friday, right?
That's next Friday.
We're there. There on Friday. Yeah. That is exciting. Well, imagine if they go into Ryderville and hand them a loss, and then Stamps would be 4-1.
Upon assistance from the replay official, the previous plays ruled a catch. It's a catch. Winnipeg does not have to use a challenge to make the changes play. We're ruling a catch. It's going to be third down.
So I get a couple looks at it. Let's take another look at it for you at home. Nice catch by Stearns.
Yep. That's a couple now. One for a touchdown.
Third and 2. Peterson picks up the first down.
How about Strevler on that play? We got to just show that play one more time. I know it was a run up the middle in a lopsided game, but Strevler on this play goes up and hits a D lineman after he handed the ball off.
Just looking for a piece, eh? Strevler gets it away quickly to Dembski. And that's Dembski's 9th catch of the ball game. He and Clercius both with 9 tonight.
Was this the play? Oh, this was the Stearns catch. It was the handoff right after that on first down where he just ran off, and I think it was a Remolade.
Strebler gets it to Peterson, and he's close to a first down here for Winnipeg late. Bombers have learned a little bit about Peterson early in the season with Brady Oliveira being unavailable for a few weeks. Peterson in his time as the #1 running back averaged 5.2 yards per carry on 46 touches. Had a touchdown as well.
Had that 130-yard game when Brady Oliveira went out.
First game, yeah. You said it, and we're going to have some fun after the game here with the presentation of the Stampede Bowl. I think the game MVP gets a belt buckle as well. I don't know if it'll be as impressive as the one you're wearing tonight, but it should still be, it'll be a lot of fun. But I think this has been a stunning success.
Oh, yeah.
Even Calgary winning and rolling over them certainly helped the crowd, but it was a great crowd tonight. A lot of buzz around the city. Players bought in, and I look forward to Stampede Bowl 2026.
Well, and there were Bomber fans here. I saw a lot of blue and white out there in the stands, and they were also getting into it with the cowboy hats, because this is the beauty of it. Like, if it's the same two teams next year, they come in and now people start to plan, like, let's go for a couple of days at the Stampede. We'll start with our team playing the rematch, trying to get that trophy back, or not back, but get it next year. But there were quite a few Bomber fans out there too, but they had a great crowd and great atmosphere and kickoff Stampede. Have you ever seen the ladies and the barrel racing?
Yeah, they're incredible.
Like,
you're blown away by barrel racing, eh?
I've been to Stampede a few times, and the parts I remember.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Were the barrel racing, and man, did they go.
Those horses look like they're about to fall over.
Like they're leaning around those.
Shout out to my teammate.
Anyway, there's quick 6. That was great with
Slow Rouge.
With Slow Rouge and Kate. And by the way, Kate, every rose does have its thorns. You have a couple around you down there on the panel.
The last home game here, Quick 6 didn't even get let out of the corral. Been busy tonight. 2nd and 7 here for Strebler. 20 seconds on the clock. On the run to his left. He's in trouble. He's hit. He's popped as he throws. Thomas tracked him down and finished the job.
Come around the edge, and Strebler just looking to make a deep throw, trying to get a touchdown, maybe set something up, and he gets whacked from the backside.
Kalon Thomas made him pay for hanging on to that ball a little bit longer than maybe he should have. Looks like he might be feeling the side effects of that big hit as well. 3rd down for Winnipeg. Strebler, far side. One hops it in to Stearns, and that'll be a turnover on downs. It's the 4th turnover of the game for Winnipeg, and P.J. Walker will come out onto the field to take a knee and claim a Stampede Bowl.
You know, all week, Dave Dickinson has been saying to the media and to us, when asked about this 3-0 Bomber team coming in, you know, any team can win on any given night. You have to execute. You have to be balanced. They came in with great confidence in their quarterback, who played excellent. And the unsung hero of this game for Calgary, their offensive line. Lots of time for Vernon Adams and 100-yard rushing, or almost, for Dedrick Mills.
Yeah, over 100 yards rushing as a team, but 93 for Dedrick Mills. And the first ever Stampede Bowl stays victorious in convincing fashion, 37-16. Your final at McMahon. Winnipeg suffers defeat for the first time this season, and Calgary improves to 3-1.
Back to the drawing board for Winnipeg. They have the bye now to take a long look. 2 byes early in the season for the Bombers, but they'll have lots of time to not only see what, do a little self-scouting, see what went wrong tonight, but to get ready for this same Calgary opponent in a couple weeks.
You said earlier, you know, as a coaching staff, you don't want to make one game more important than another. There's a trophy on the line and everything. So as us and people across the country who are going to analyze this and the panel and everything, how much do we read into this? A convincing victory for Calgary against Winnipeg.
Well, now they can say we can compete against the best in the division. Not only can we compete, we can beat them. So that's always there now. No matter what's happened, and there'll be highs and lows for the Stamp. There'll be highs and lows for both these teams as the season goes on. But at the end of the day, they'll be able to always say, you know what, we can handle this team. We can beat this team. They're the best team in the division, and we can beat them. That gives you a ton of confidence, and what it does is validate the process, validates the work, validates all the schemes and different playbooks that you're working off of. And you say, hey, we've got a team that have the athletes out here, the coaching staff, the culture, that we can beat the best team in the division. Now, for the Bombers, you know, no team's gone 18-0. So
you're gonna have some losses along the way.
You're gonna have some bumps along the way. They'll do some self-scouting. How about the special teams replay when we showed you a little Tanner Cogwalder and the extra attention he was getting? But Vernon Adams has provided a real spark to this team. A lot of the changes on the offensive side of the ball, they did get Dominic Rhymes added to this. Devin Jones on the outside, and both Dominic Rhymes and Vernon Adams coming from the same team.
All right, Vernon Adams is standing by with Chantel.
VA, you had quite the game today. Your offense had quite the game. You know what? The defense, the whole entire team, how much of a statement victory was it here tonight against the Bombers?
Oh, man, it was huge for us, man. God is good. I talked to the guys before the game, and I said we need to play complementary football, and I told the offense we need to do our part today. You know what I'm saying? We need to hold up our end of the bargain, and I feel like we did, and defense helped us out with a couple pick sixes as well. So, yeah, man, it just feels great.
You guys are the winners of the first ever Stampede Bowl. How good does it feel to hear that? And also, there's going to be a trophy presentation. How was the vibe here tonight?
It was awesome. It's history. First one ever. We won. I'm blessed. I'm thankful. It's a great feeling.
Appreciate your time. Congrats.
Thank you. God bless. Go Stamps.
I also loved when we talked to Vernon about being a Calgary Stampeder, wearing the red jersey. I said, you know, you look pretty good in red. And he goes, you know, it reminds me of Eastern Washington. We had the same colors, so spent some time there and in Oregon as well. But
all right, Chantel has Moncrief. Let's send it back down to the field.
Derek, you had the pick six that pretty much sealed the game today. What did you see on that play?
Just film study. I watched film all week. A lot of long nights, early mornings, and just trusted my preparation and broke on the ball.
Obviously, it's the first ever Stampede Bowl. The atmosphere was a little bit different. Did that put pressure on you guys, or did you guys just want to come out and ball out?
Yeah, no pressure. We knew coming off the bye week, we lost the last home game, and we didn't want to disappoint ourselves or the fans or anything like that. So we pride ourselves on being a physical football team and winning situational football. So that's what we did today.
You guys are now 3-1. The Bombers are 3-1. Obviously, Sask is undefeated, but the whole West is kind of wide open. Yeah. What does that mean to you guys?
Wild, Wild West, man. Get ready. It's about to be crazy.
Congrats on the win.
Thank you. Go Stamps.
Just getting in on the country theme, the Wild Wild West.
Wild West out here right now with those three teams up at the top. Riders perfect. Calgary and Winnipeg both at 3-1. BC just getting Nathan Rourke back, and Edmonton will look to get off the schneid at home on Sunday against the Red Blacks.
Do you remember a game, and you were a fan before you were in media, as I was, where Zach Collaros threw 2 pick sixes?
2 picks
in one game?
I think we probably have to go back quite a ways.
I don't remember one, but and again, earned tonight, and the guy you just heard from, Derek Moncrief, got one of them.
You know what? We don't have to go that far back. Threw 4 in the Grey Cup last year.
Oh, he did.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying. Threw 4.
I must have looked past that one
last year. Everybody's gathered down on the stage. We've got a great presentation coming up here at McMahon.
That's right. That fourth quarter
that was kind of a big one.
Their fourth quarter was a disaster for them.
Yeah, that was
Grey Cup. Toronto took them back to that. Toronto, the Argos are back there right now in Toronto going, hey,
what about us? They're pointing at the TV. I went 4. Went 4 in the biggest game of the season. So.
We were thinking regular season.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
There you go.
All right, we are going to send it down as the Stampede Bowl champions are ready to be crowned at McMahon.
Tonight's Stampede Bowl trophies presentation. Let's head down to the South End Zone stage with our CFL on TSN host, Kate Burness.
Thank you very much, Mike, and thank you, Calgary. And what an inaugural Stampede Bowl it was. First of all, we'd like to thank Tourism Calgary providing all the white hats here for the winners of the Stampede Bowl, the Calgary Stampeders. Thank you to them. And also, I want to introduce some people around me right now. The commissioner of the CFL, Stuart Johnson. We have the president of the Calgary Stampede, Stuart O'Connor, and the president of the Calgary Stampeders, Jay McNeil, who really made this happen. Before we get Stu to present this beautiful new trophy, the CFL on TSN panel has selected an MVP for this game. And finally, a passing touchdown this season, your quarterback, Vernon Adams Jr. Vernon Adams is receiving a custom buckle courtesy of Becker's Buckle. Try saying that 3 times fast. Now to present the inaugural trophy, the commissioner, Stuart Johnston.
How about this, Calgary? Congratulations to the Stampeders. Congratulations, Jay, Robert, Lorenzo, partnering with the Stampede, Stuart and Joel. A fabulous night. This was nothing but a good time. And for the 2025 champions, I present to you the Stampede Bowl. Excuse me, guys. Kate!
There they are, the Stampede Bowl champion Calgary Stampeders. A fitting way for the first one to finish, unless, of course, you are a Bombers fan. The Stampeders dominated this game on both sides of the ball from start to finish. Vernon Adams Jr. with his first couple of touchdown passes of the year. 2 pick sixes the other way by the defense. And you can say it was a complete team effort. Look at that belt buckle for VA. Stampede Bowl champions, the Calgary Stampeders. Thank you very much for joining us. Sports Center is next.
Live in the Canadian Football League, the Stamps hosting the first ever Stampede Bowl. The team plans to host the game on the eve of the Calgary Stampede every single year. They were hosting the Blue Bombers this year. Vernon Adams Jr. looking for his first TD pass of the season, and he's got it, finding Clark Barnes for the 43-yard score. Jake Thomas rolls into the leg of Adams. The Stamps quarterback comes up limping, but he would be okay. 7-0 Calgary. Bombers off to a 3-0 start. We are still in the first quarter.
Gets this one away. Intercepted. It's taken away. Webb down to the 5. End zone touchdown, Calgary.
Dustin Nielsen on the call on TSN. Zach Collaros coming off a 4-touchdown game last week, throws a pick 6 to Damon Webb. Calgary led 15-3 after the first quarter. TSN's Enoch Mwamba raced the world's fastest cow. Enoch made it look easy. He got a bit of a head start, but he's still very fast. Could probably still play. Let's go to the second quarter. Vernon Adams Jr. to Damian Alford, 11-yard TD. Bombers came in giving up 19 points a game this season. They'd already given up 22 in the first half before the break. Adams to Jalen Philpott, 66 yards all the way down to the Bomber 2. 2 plays after that, once again on the call, Dustin Nielsen.
Bomber 2. Adams hands it off. Mills up the middle. Touchdown, Calgary. And this is a stunner at McMahon as Calgary blows it wide open.
Dedrick Mills runs it in. The Stampeders up 29-6 at the break. But this is the most important part of the night. Brett Michaels was there. Brett Michaels from Poison, one of my personal heroes. Oh, what I wouldn't give to be right there in the front row. Brett Michaels, terrific person by all accounts. Fourth quarter, Bombers down 21. Collaros' second pick 6 of the game. Derek Moncrief returns this one 70 yards to the end zone. Stampeders win the inaugural Stampede Bowl, 37-16 the final. All the players in their cowboy hats taking home a little bit of hardware. Speaking of people in cowboy hats, Kate Burness, she was a part of that celebration, and then she had to run all the way back to where the CFL panel was. But Kate is in unbelievable shape, and she had no problem doing it. Right, Kate?
And alongside Enoch Mwamba and Paul LaPolice. And yes, we're all dressed up, and unfortunately, we're going to have to put it all away and go back to Friday Night Football, but this was one to remember. And Enoch, my goodness, we'll get to your cow race in just a minute, but we got to go to Lapo. And look, the way the Stampeders came out, you knew that this just meant a little bit more for them. And Vernon Adams had been good all this season, and we said that maybe Dave Dickinson finally found his quarterback, but he hadn't thrown a touchdown yet. Well, he did in this game. The first half was sensational, 2 TDs. He ends up with 222. I mean, he was using his legs. He didn't have to do much in the second half, but he set the tone for this team.
Yeah, you talked about early in the year, Kate, how much you enjoyed watching this football team with Vernon Adams as the starting quarterback. He's exciting. He can make plays. The thing he did great, it did not turn the football over, but the big thing that's happened, that's come back to this offense, is the explosive football plays. He had multiple explosive plays in this football game. Tavon Jones had a 29-yarder. Jalen Philpott had a 66-yard big play, and Clark, I only catch deep balls, Barnes, had a 43-yard touchdown. You can see right there on a double move. So Vernon was seeing the field very well. And, you know, it's exciting football to watch when they're doing things very well. They get the run game going. Dedrick Mills had 18 carries, 93 yards, 1 touchdown. So this was an offense that was firing on all cylinders. You know, they put up a lot of points tonight, but a lot of yardage, and great help by the defense.
Well, that's what I was going to say that too. As great as the offense was, the defense was giving them everything as well. I mean, we were trying to pick the MVP for this game, and it was really difficult because all 3 phases were clicking. I mean, Damon Webb, he was fantastic. I know you had a player that you were watching the entire time, but Enoch, that was just an impressive showing.
Absolutely, Kate, and we talked about it from the top of the show. Florian Orimilade talked about it. He said, we want to make this team one-dimensional, and that's what they did. They got a great start, which is exactly what they needed to do tonight, and they did an amazing job. You talk about Damon Webb. He's the one that really got the party started for them. Jumped the ball with a lot of confidence. You got to give it to Coach Slowick, the defensive coordinator in Calgary. They did a great job of being aggressive. You see Derek Moncrief over there as well. He got his hands on football as well, added as well. And you talk about the guys on defense that were just active. Jacob Roberts, that's the guy that I'm talking about, a young linebacker. We had, you know, they brought in Adam Bighill right here because they felt like they needed more power and more strength when it comes to linebackers here. But he showed up tonight, and that's what you want from young guys over there as well. You got to also give it to the defensive line. Florian Orimilade, as well as Miles Brown and the rest of that defensive front, they put a lot of pressure up there on Zach Collaros, and he was not comfortable all night tonight. And I'll tell you what, Kate, he cannot wait to get out of Calgary.
Oh, yeah. My goodness, they want to be gone, and I think they're actually sticking around for a bit because they're on the bye now.
Yeah, and I think your point point, Enoch, about the defense. Last year, this defense didn't have a lot of playmakers. Now they have a ton of playmakers. They were third coming into this game in takeaways. They were last season. So now they had 4 takeaways, whatever they had today, 2 for scores. So they can do a lot of good things defensively. So when the offense isn't playing fire up as much as they can. So, hey, I'll tell you what, today was nothing but a good time.
You know what? It was a great time for one Enoch Mwamba, too.
Yes,
weeks and weeks of preparation, and he didn't just beat the cow. He absolutely smokes the cow. And, of course, it is the Stampeders hoisting the new beautiful trophy, the Stampede Bowl, officially in the books.
Tough day for Winnipeg sports fans on Thursday. Tough day. The odds for the other 3 games in the Canadian Football League Week 5, courtesy of FanDuel. All of these games on TSN at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Friday Night Football, Tabbies against the Argos. Hamilton 3-point favorites. Saturday, the Lions square off against the Alouettes. Montreal a field goal favorite. And it all caps off on Sunday. The Red Blacks in Edmonton to face the Elks. Both teams in the basement of their divisions. Edmonton, the lone team in the Canadian Football League without a win on the campaign.